bet. We should be now. We've been live for 10 seconds as far as according to Streamlabs. Oh shit. Whale. Whale. What do we have here? I used to put 3 whale emojis and like some and like do that and like people wouldn't fucking get it. But, yeah. All right. I'm gonna tweet it real quick. I couldn't think of a fucking name. I had to name it something. You know? I couldn't think. Yeah. Right? Look, JJ's like, Mel? Nani? You like it? You like it? It's more in line with our motif, right? Like I kind of yeah. You see how we got badges cuz we special? Yo, we got the hey, we got the tiny HB fucking next to our names. Thanks. Thanks. That's what I was working on literally all morning. What? Oh, chat. Ah, yeah, what's happening? Oh, so y'all finna just show up late? I was waiting in this Pan African bookstore with 100,000 Nubians. People trying to sell me knitted goods. How y'all gonna leave me just sitting here waiting? I bought stock in bean pies. So fucking yo, holy god. Will actually comes from that. Will actually comes from that. That's the funny shit. Like, yeah. Wait, what? Oh, is it was it on Twitch? Oh wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. I got it. Hold on. Sorry. All right, let me fix this real quick. Uh, oh god damn it. All right. Don't worry. Let's figure this shit out. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I apologize. Mm, yeah, no, it's a thing. I'll put it's a thing apparently. Um, sorry. Hold on. Okay, let's figure this out. Didn't Leo have this same fucking problem? Okay, hold on. All right, properties, device. Yo, oh, hold on. Say something, somebody. Somebody. Nope, still just me. Okay. Oh no. Um, sorry. Hold on. Let me just figure this out. Properties. Uh, mm, what about that? Yes? No? Say something, y'all.
Mic check.
Yo.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. You guys are live now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll also say here, put fucking we are currently experiencing technical difficulties in the chat. We apologize for any inconvenience.
All right, so Lawrence,
Yeah.
what I was saying is real quick while you in that Pan African bookstore, tell uh
Jesus.
I need y'all to tell my 5% of homies peace and blessings to the gods and the earth. Word is bond.
What's the yo? Ask them. Hey, hey, fucking Lawrence. While you in there, ask them what today's 48 keys of light. What's today's mathematics?
What up, Freddie?
Y'all
What's
thought I ain't
today's
know about that shit.
mathematics?
Y'all thought I ain't
What
know
it
about
do,
that shit.
baby boo?
I see. I seen Wu Tang and American Saga. I know about that shit. But but yeah, so today's a special episode. We're Hertz Boys is learning slowly but surely how to get more active, get more involved with our supporters, with our following, with our there we go, with our fan base, I guess. I don't know, whatever supporters. Yeah, that's the best word for it. And we're more active in the Discord now, so that's great. There's more people in it. It is so much more lively. It's a much better environment. And today we have two very special guests who are also longtime supporters of our whole movement. We have Lou, also known as KPB, also known as Kick Punch Block Retro Station on Twitter, and we have Mel, Boricua Life. If you couldn't already tell by the at and the Puerto Rican flag,
How did you
the,
know I was Puerto
how'd you
Rican?
how'd you know I was Puerto Rican?
I would have never guessed.
Yeah,
To
would have never.
to be
Yeah.
honest, Maury, I had no idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a mosaic. Like I don't know, like whatever.
No me, no me fijé.
Yeah, no me fijé. But yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you to both of you for joining us.
Thank you
Thanks
for
a lot. We
having
really
us.
appreciate y'all. But yeah.
Word.
So today we got a pretty exciting lineup of topics because this past week has been pretty crazy. But that's not saying much considering the rest of the year. So, but yeah. So on today's topics, we're gonna talk Cyberpunk 2077. It's finally coming out. Cardi B's $88,000 handbag debacle. Elliot Page coming out and finally living as himself, living true to his identity. Finally finding that security in his identity and shit, and how cool that is. And Splatoon versus Nintendo versus Melee versus everyone. So
Versus the world.
yeah. So okay. So I guess, but before any of that, I wanted to start off with a really quick thing about um, video game donkey. I know that's like a weird thing to start off on, but it's like it's one of the less important topics. So I just wanted to kind of talk about this real quick and get it out of the way sooner. Um, Donkey dropped a video on the 3rd, 4 days ago, as of this podcast, saying, "I'm done making good videos." And I thought it was his most relatable content yet. Like, as a content
Mhm.
creator, I thought that was his best video that he's ever made. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like he gets it. You know what I mean? And Donkey is somebody that I thought was like super, like, just so far removed from any of like our little people problems, because he averages fucking 3 million views and shit. So, but it's nice to see that, like, other people, people of higher caliber, I guess, or higher status or whatever, are feeling the effects of like YouTube
To
fucking rat race culture and shit like that, and like just the general downturn with the quality of content that's coming out and shit. But yeah, I showed you guys. I sent these guys the video. I want to know what you guys think of like what he said and stuff.
all right. So to be honest, this isn't like, because I seen this from Donkey, and I'm surprised it's so late that he would say something about it. Then again, he's not really, like you said, he's not really in the realm of like the usual YouTube shit
Yeah,
that goes on. But I've seen this plenty of times. I was like, me, like all throughout like the 2010s, like till now, I would watch like the Super Beard Bros. I would watch the Game Grumps.
mhm,
Um, and they were always consistently trying to find ways to appease the YouTube algorithm,
yeah,
because YouTube didn't really blow up till everybody was on there with their gaming channels filming fucking Minecraft, right?
yeah,
Minecraft is still very prevalent to this like day in YouTube. And all of these guys who make, their actual content, and they like went from the ground up, built their shit up on actual content, writing this shit, editing this shit themselves and everything.
yeah,
Um this has been something that's fighting the YouTube algorithm, has been something that's been going on for at least the past like 6-7 years, to be honest.
yeah.
So like I feel like it's a bit late
Just
for him to be making that statement, because
pretty
it's
much
like it's
since
already
like
so known.
pretty much since Adpocalypse, right? Like that's when
Yeah, they
yeah,
did the Adpocalypse, they did the entirety of the shit with people just whoring them. Oh, sorry, it's terrible fucking phrase. I shouldn't be using it. But
Selling out.
essentially, basically selling themselves out to just like a bombardment of bullshit.
Hmm.
Whether it be, the new fad right now is fucking Among Us. Then you have all these fucking drama YouTubers, etc., fucking like David Dobrik ass type shit.
Dude, it's all, and it's not even like just Dobrik. It's like, because David Dobrik was always like, his shit is extra. Like, it's always been extra by nature. Like,
Yeah.
you buying your friend works at Target. What the fuck is he gonna? How's he gonna afford the insurance on a fucking Lambo? Like, be realistic, you know. But
Feed from me.
but I've seen channels that I respected. Like, I'm just gonna name drop because I don't give a fuck. Like, if they take it personal and they don't want to work with us, whatever. But I've seen channels like Spawnwave
Mhm.
and like Kevin Kenson and like big channels like that, um, that have just devolved into like just like news reporting, like gaming news reporting and daily uploads. Like Review Tech USA is like a drama a drama tuber now, and like it just seemed so far removed from like the stuff they were producing before, right? Like with Donkey, like Donkey has been kind of inconsistent for a long time because his Octopath Traveler review made no sense and he got called out for it. His Death
Mhm.
Stranding review was super disingenuous and he got called out for it, pretty much only by me, but still. And and
Only by you.
yeah, only like it's, but it's annoying when like you go to oh shit, thank you so much, Natalis, for following us. But you go to this thing, like you go to this guy for this opinion, right? And it's like you have a responsibility to your following because Forbes put out an article about like, oh, Donkey, like imagine working for
Mhm.
Forbes and being like, you know what? I feel like covering this fucking like I feel like covering this fucking YouTuber that like had an opinion on a game I didn't like. Like, yo, you are Forbes magazine, bro. If you don't get to reporting about the goddamn stocks, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't do your fucking job, man. But
Stay in your
but
lane, basically.
yeah, and like, and Donkey's had that problem for a long time, and it's like he had that video about like game critics and like how like, oh, like people are putting their review up before they even finish the game. It's like, yeah, you did that with Octopath Traveler. Like, we found you out, you know.
Mhm.
But now he puts this out, and it's like, oh well, I can't do what I've been doing. I can't keep up. And it's like, yeah, but even what you have been doing has been kind of problematic. But it's still nice.
Mm,
It's still nice that I it's nice to see that the smaller creators are not alone in getting left behind in this shit. But
no.
what do you guys like? What do Mel or Lou think about what's going on?
I see that it's relatable. What with the adpocalypse, what with just basically general gaming trends that a lot of the big YouTubers don't really seem to have like organic content anymore. And I think that's what Donkey was trying to get at, where it's just like, it was just him by himself trying to do writing, editing, scripting, and then the larger YouTubers have like basically full-blown TV production teams where they can like pump out all this content. And I can see why he said what. And when you're comparing, the size of the labor force, Donkey being, the one-man army versus, let's say, Markiplier's like whole production and editing team, you can see like the disparity in content and like content regularity. So I can understand where he's coming from with that. And then just again, just taking advantage of the fads and again trying to fight the algorithm because it's just like Among Us is a 2-year-old game
Hmm.
Mhm.
and it didn't blow up until about maybe 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, basically Among Us became the new Minecraft in terms of the amount of content that was flooding like the YouTube sphere.
Yeah.
It's like, don't get me wrong, Among Us is a great game, but I'm trying to watch more than just everyone putting out just another Among Us video.
Right.
Mhm.
Mel, do you have any
Well,
thoughts?
well, yeah, like just to add on, like, I've done social media marketing, and when I've worked with clients, it's a matter of like you can refer a content calendar. So when he was touching base on like just trying to switch up his content, it's a schedule that you want to like basically stick to because it seems like everywhere else is just saturated. You have, Markiplier, and you have other big YouTubers that are playing these popular games, and you get lost. You know, like people are not gonna probably want to go to your videos or something. I'm not very familiar with video game Donkey, but I do understand like the amount of time that it takes to make videos, and you know, like you want to have different effects. You want someone to, you know, constantly like click back, like it's a good quality video. So, and then the scripts that goes into it, a lot of it is time, and you want to be creative. You want to do something that's different, and also something that people can relate to, you know. So it's I feel for him, you know, but I also feel bad for like a lot of people that are, you know, creating these content and just trying to get their following, and you know, making sure like they want their bag, you know. So that,
Yeah. No, but
Just-
that's kind of why I asked you how you felt based on your background in social media marketing and stuff like that.
mhm.
And like with me, right? Like whenever I go viral, people are like, "Yo, how did you know? Like how did you know this would do
Mhm.
numbers? You're a marketing genius." And like that's not me tooting my own horn. I've literally been
Mhm.
called that. And I'm like, "Dude, I don't like what do you think this is? You think I'm in a dungeon fucking like, "Yes, this is going to go stupid." Like
Right,
yo, Lou,
right.
right? Like Lou, like you think I'm fucking like, so like
doing the Birdman hand
no,
rub like
I'm literally like, so I'm, I'm like fucking hold on. So I'm like based on my calculations, I think that depend based on user engagement on Twitter, I believe that this will be the kind of content that makes the most like I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? I kind of just like
Right.
put out whatever and it goes up. You
it's
know?
like if it blows up, it blows up. It's just
Yeah.
like a lot of the content nowadays, well, YouTube content in particular seems to be basically like the engagement tactic seems to be similar to stuff like online journalism, like Kotaku, event hubs, and stuff like that, where it's not even so much about the content; it's just like clickbait thumbnails or clickbait titles,
Mhm.
and then you know, the actual quality of the content is an afterthought. It's
Yeah.
just like I want your clicks. I don't care how I get them.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, and
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
people do like people will milk the same joke because it went viral one time. Like
Mhm.
remember that, excuse me, remember that
Rainy Big Head in the chat.
oh, every time I burp because of my acid reflux. Yeah, remember that dude? Oh man, I forget his name. It's not Drewski. It's the other uh
Is
it's
Drewski's clone?
it's the other big guy comedian that he's black, he light skinned or whatever. And he used to do like the boomerangs, right? And like the first like two or three were funny. But like he was not fucking pumping them out like every day, bro. And it was like, all right, man, like you know, you and to be honest, like Drewski kind of did the same thing and like, you know, and what's the name? Fucking that couple that I blocked on Twitter because they try to normalize fucking physically abusive relationships and shit. Like they just like the whole joke is just them hitting each other or some shit.
Yeah.
Is that like that? Oh, like hating my boyfriend or hating my girlfriend type shit. Man, that
No,
shit
no,
was corny.
like oh man, like Chicklet, whatever his name is.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I had
Oh,
to yeah,
talking about, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey
yeah.
yo, DM his daddy. Thank you for the 200 bits, bro.
Hey, good looks, bro. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Yeah, I had to. Oh my God, Streamlabs. Streamlabs says 6 times Hearst Boys one big head combo. That's great. But not like like I just got tired of the fucking like they were doing the same shit every single video, and with me it's like I think the reason I go viral every time is because I bring something new to the table with every video, and it's not just me doing like pronouncing things like a Dominican part 45 and stuff, because like that's just not me. But then at the same time, it's like okay, well, pumping out the same shit seems to be what's getting everybody on, right? Like Drewski was in a Drake video, fucking Shiggy was in a Drake video. You know what I mean? Like all these
Yeah.
people, like King Bach, who is not funny at
At
all.
all.
This motherfucker's like he's got a Netflix deal. He's in a Justin Bieber video. Like it's really like it's kind of disheartening. It's like what the fuck, you know? But yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on this topic. But yeah, if anybody got a you know if anybody has a like thoughts or whatever like on the YouTube slash content slash viral landscape or whatever. But yeah, I fucking I hate chicklet. Like I just no, I hate that whole dynamic. Like I hate the fucking like oh I'm fucking oh you like other bitches pictures fucking you know what I mean, and it's like that's not
Yeah.
funny, bro. Like
It's not.
that's not funny, you
It's
know,
not.
and
The fuck?
it's like super whack, and like that's what blows up or whatever, and they get like Hot 97 interviews and shit. It's like, huh? Like you know whatever. I don't know.
It's just like, hello?
Yeah, it's like is it, like are you guys aren't seeing like the damage that you would potentially do, but whatever. But
That's media
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts on the whole YouTube donkey thing?
Nah, that shit plain as day, bro.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Actually, let's before we move on, let's I'm going to acknowledge the chat a little bit. But yeah, Mel, Lou, anything else to add? Nothing.
I think
I'm
you
okay
guys
here.
hit the hell on the nail on the head, honestly.
Oh, cool. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so let's backtrack a little bit. I'm not going to go too far back. I'm just gonna go to JJ. When JJ said, "If anything, David, I guess David Dorbick,
Mhm.
hey, Judge Mo Dollars 28, good looking. Thank you for the follow. If anything, David has been the OG of that kind of content. I've seen tons of copycats since his stuff has gone viral. David Dorbick, I'm assuming. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Marina said, with that, other YouTubers with large followings who still do their normal content feel the pressure to churn out daily videos to compete, and it's taking a toll. Yeah, yeah. I think
Yep.
everybody's kind of just chiming in and shit. Papa Noir said YouTube has changed for the worst. It used to be a place for anyone and everyone to upload their content, but now it's like there's a formula to get views or popularity. It's corny and makes most content seem artificial. Oh yeah,
There it is.
yeah, absolutely.
For
And
sure.
like, and it's also like what's crazy is like the algorithm, like the same with Twitter, how everybody found out Twitter's algorithm was like accidentally racist or some shit like that. Like it wasn't programmed that way, but because Twitter's like creators and shit were white, like all those algorithms are based on photos of white people, so they center whiteness, and it's like racist. Like that's what that is. It's the same with YouTube. YouTube's like the first people to go pro, so to speak, on YouTube were white people, right? And the algorithm matches up the numbers that they do with what they look like. So they put more people that look like them at the front and center of YouTube. Again, centering whiteness, which is why I got to go out of my way to look up black creators. But as soon as I hit fucking the YouTube homepage, no disrespect to them, but all I see is fucking Scott the Waz and fucking Kid Icarus and shit like that. Or Catakaris, or however the fuck you say that shit. And like
Yeah,
Matt McMuscles and shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Matt
a lot-
McMuscles makes quality shit though. I won't.
Nah,
No. Again, no disrespect to them. It's
Yeah,
just it's just the YouTube.
a lot
thing.
of the algorithm is whitewashed.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I
and
agree.
then Sangria Auntie said the issue is that the internet, comedy / YouTube in general is about pumping out content that appeals to the lowest common denominator. So people like these super samey feeling skits or content or whatever.
Content or whatever.
Yeah, that's why you'll never catch me doing that shit.
Today's
Also, yeah,
content environment is built around hyperbole. No lies
Yeah.
detected.
Yeah, and fucking you'll never see me start like, bro. I could have been banked off a fucking YouTube family channel. What? My kids are cute as fuck, and I'm fucking hilarious. I could have been got the bag, you know what I mean? But I'm not about to exploit my family for fucking views. I'm gonna make videos I care about, and like, it's funny. Like, once you get caught, and this is the last point I'm gonna make. I swear we're gonna move on, but once you get caught in that vicious cycle, you can't stop. You know,
Mhm.
like once you become Spawn Wave and or Kevin Kenson, and you're reporting gaming news on a daily fucking basis, you cannot stop doing that once you start, right?
Yeah.
Because and like all your evergreen content gets lost. Like I'm not gonna like I don't give a fuck about the daily fucking like news or whatever. Like I don't give a fuck about daily gaming info or whatever. I'm gonna go back and watch Donkey's bad graphics review because that's evergreen. You know what I mean? Like that video is gonna be relevant forever. And it's the same with like even with like podcasting, right? Like there are videos that we've made that people are gonna go back to and others that they're not, because by this time next week the Cardi B shit's not gonna be relevant and Cyberpunk will have already come out. So this content will have outlived itself. Like it will have lived its entire like lifespan, you know what I mean? So like it's a vicious fucking cycle and shit. But yeah, are we guys are we ready to move on to the next
Yeah,
next
but real
topic?
quick,
Yes.
Lawrence said, Rainy, I need a Hershboy skit where you suspect Griff has a secret family and you try to
Yo,
expose him.
Jesus Christ, bro.
He Dominican. He might already.
Yeah, makes sense. That
El
yeah.
Diablo.
But okay, so the next topic let's talk Cyberpunk. Let's talk
Yes.
Cyberpunk. Who here cares who here cares the most about it?
I honestly care the least.
Okay.
I don't. All right. See, the only
And
reason
I
I
like
care,
it.
only reason I care is because I mentioned it in the podcast before.
Mhm.
Is because apparently it's a very, very robust character creator,
Mhm.
where character creation where it goes down to genitals, and I want to make my characters meat so big
Oh my
that
god.
that it has to load in after my character model. All right.
Oh, what?
All right.
Oh my god. That's great. I love that. But
Oh my god.
but yeah, Mel, how do you feel about
I'm
Cyberpunk?
excited. I am so excited. Like,
Mhm.
so like I've seen one of my favorite YouTubers, like he opened the Xbox Series Xbox or whatever for Cyberpunk. It was so epic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like I fangirled, like I was like, oh my god, I wish it was me. But like just I don't know, like the anticipation and what he was, I guess, gifted, 'cause it was like a collector's edition or something of that sort. And I loved it. Like I wish it was me opening the box. Pause. You feel me? But like
Not
like
pause, Mel. Oh god. There we go.
oh sorry, yeah, but
You
you
didn't play
feel
on
me
that shit.
though. So, but I'm excited. I pre-ordered the game, and I was told like we should just like buy it off of Steam. I was like, I already pre-ordered it. What the fuck? Like leave me alone. So I'm very excited about it, and like I love Keanu Reeves.
Mhm.
So like sidebar, like I'm excited for like the Matrix, like the
Mhm.
Matrix 4. So I'm like, of course, like I gotta support the guy or whatever. So um, you feel me?
Yeah, nah,
That's what I'm
Word.
really excited for. So
yeah.
yeah.
I don't really care for it mainly because a lot of the games that have been coming out lately, I'm not really intrigued by. Like a lot of the next gen or like current gen offerings don't really appeal to me. The only one that's currently appealing to me right now that I have to try at some point is Immortals Phoenix Rising, but that's another story for another day.
Word.
The reason I'm not particularly excited for Cyberpunk particularly is mainly because again, Keanu Reeves is great. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing about the game that says, Lou, you have to play it.
Mhm.
But and that feeling is exacerbated by the fact that with a little bit of research that I've done recently, Cyberpunk exploits transness for cheap entertainment and shock factor and objectifies trans bodies. Shout outs to Amanda Stevens for that quote. But yeah, and there was, if you don't mind, I'd like to read an excerpt as to a trans person's perspective as to why the trans representation in Cyberpunk is complete bullshit,
Mhm.
if I may.
Yeah,
So
yeah, go ahead.
in my 40 plus hours in Night City, I never met a single character of any significance whom the game made clear was trans. And one of the only queer coded characters I encountered was an extremely unsavory cybernetic surgeon who does extremely unsavory things. I did spot a trans flag on one character's vehicle, though that hardly counts as positive trans representation and doesn't even necessarily mean the character themselves are trans. It felt more like a way for Cyberpunk's creators to say they had included positive trans representation without actually putting thought into it or making trans people a visible part of the makeup of Night City.
Mhm.
The result is a game in which transphobic players, of which there will be many, can just laugh at us by using the character creator to generate models they consider worthy of mockery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean
So
Get it.
that's a great point, and like I'm glad we're moving past this. I'm glad we're moving past this point of like any representation is good representation. Like back when like when they made Thor like when they made Thor a woman, but it was like his love interest or whatever because he became unworthy, and I was kind of like just write Valkyrie. Just give the hammer to Valkyrie. Write a good Valkyrie. Or like when they made Falcon Captain America. It's like just write Isaiah Bradley. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've done nothing with these characters and like
Not
that
since like the fucking what was it? the Howling Commandos fucking
Yeah,
days.
yeah, and like the framework is there already. And if you cared to give people a good like you wouldn't just plug shit. Like this is Marvel's problem, and this is everybody's problem, really, including Cyberpunk. Is like you think that plugging that shit in is enough, right? And as much flack as The Last of Us Part Two gets, you can say what you want, but Lev is one of the greatest characters in recent games. Like period. Lev is a fantastically realized character, and like you could tell that some love and care went into writing Lev as a character. Like Lev is a trans character in the world of The Last of
The
Us
Last of Us.
Part Two, and
Yeah.
this is my perspective as a cisgendered heterosexual guy. So obviously the floor is open. The table is open to any people of other identities, like non-cisgender people, trans people, or whatever, who may feel differently, right? But I feel like for me, I feel like Lev was a very genuinely written, carefully handled trans character. You know what I mean? It wasn't just shoehorned in there for the sake of spectacle. Like that's like fucking putting a fucking like FEMA sticker on an attack drone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that doesn't do like you're not doing anything tangible. And it's like like it's just like, slapping something on there just to say you did it, you know? And like that
Yeah.
that's kind of that's what I was worried about like with Cyberpunk. It was like, "Oh, okay, cool. You can do all this stuff, but like what does that lend to the world at large?" And it's disappointing that it's apparently nothing, you know?
Yeah.
It's super disappointing.
I
I think
I
that shit
feel
was whack.
It just feels like tokenism, and it's just like we're well past the age of tokenism, where it's just like that's not good enough.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
I
you can't just like throw something. You can't just like throw a trans character. Just be like, oh, there's that one trans character to point to. Whenever people are like, oh, there needs to be more trans representation. It's like no. It's just like you want good representation on like LGBTQ shit. Fucking fucking the new Shira.
Yeah.
New Shira. Heterosexual couples, same-sex couples, people struggling with their identities, and like people that that are people out there like genuinely living their truths
Yeah.
without the spectacle. Like that like the story wasn't centered around that, but those relationships and those interactions just further built to the lore, further added to the lore. Like that's good that's good queer representation done right.
Mhm.
Word.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Someone in the chat was like, "Do you feel like Miles Morales is a token character?" And like, no,
No,
yeah,
No.
no,
absolutely not.
not
Absolutely
at
not.
all.
He is so well written in his actual comic books, because I know a lot of people, like, I mean, obviously since they dropped the Into the Spider Verse, as well as the Miles Morales like DLC, um, where this is where a lot more people are focusing on him as a whole. But like when what year did he actually come out? They actually made the Miles Morales. Was that like 2000 and like what 16, 17?
Like when he became Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Sorry,
But
real
yeah, Miles
quick.
Morales
It's
is definitely
20,
not a
20,
token character.
2014.
2014. Okay.
Mhm.
Since his inception into the series, it was littered in culture, like cultural references within his own community, how well written his character was, his family's character, and there was no sense of tokenism there. And this is way before this was right before, not way before, but it was right before they decided to do the entirety of the whole, okay, we got a black Iron Man now, a black woman Iron Man now. We have the woman Thor. We have an
Black
Asian
like
Hulk.
yeah, Black Captain America. Like all this shit, like it just felt
Hmm.
very shoehorned. Like a
Yeah,
lot of the time, that's not very like people could see through that shit. Is what is kind of like my gist of it.
most definitely.
And that's and that's like that was really like the worst part of it. It's like okay, you're literally just doing this to be like, here nigga, damn, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like,
Basically.
yeah, like you're here like, oh my god, fine, fuck, there
Coño.
there,
Come
are
on.
you happy? Like yeah, so
It
but
it
yeah,
sho- it really clearly shows too, because you haven't seen anything like primarily written well, like even in like family shows and shit like that, since like the fucking Cosbys or like fucking like Family Matters and shit like that, and like every single representation of like a black person now, it's just like here's your one strong black protagonist who don't give a damn,
Yeah.
you know, like it's so fucking stupid, and they do this with every minority
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
every facet.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like okay, well, like how do I explain it? I just lost my train of thought. Never mind. Mel, do you have any? Do you like, because like
Like,
Mel was, I feel like, uh, just to put, not to, I don't mean to like blow up your spot or whatever, but you like, you expressed genuine like excitement for this game, and then Lou was just
mm,
like, yeah, this game is very problematic for a lot of reasons. So like,
yeah.
does
No,
that
no, no. I
does
mean, but that's the thing. Like, I
Sorry.
feel like I feel like it's good to be put on. Like, because now it's like, all right, now you have to like reshape everything and rethink everything through. Like, I have support for the LGBTQ community, and I want to make sure that everybody is accepted. Because same thing with The Last of Us too. Like, there was a whole lot of hoopla for like a trans
Hoopla.
character, and literally there was like, all right, what's the fuss about? You know what I'm saying?
my favorite
And
shit
it's like,
my fault. Sorry. Go ahead,
no, no,
finish.
it's okay. So I want us to be able to move in a way where we can all actually like live in the fucking same world and be accepted, and love each other and stuff. Like, it's not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. Like, we should all like accept one another, and it bothers me because it's like these, games. Like, we should be able to get along with people. We network and like, yo, you play this game, I like this game too, and that's it. Like, it's not a problem. But why are these games so problematic? And who's behind it all? Like, who's agreeing to these things? Like, that's a problem.
Yeah,
Elderly
So
white
now I'm
men.
just like, now I'm tight. Like,
it's
like
very like,
I'm
it's very
tight.
easy. It's very easy to like, you can tell when there's no trans people in the writers room, you know? Like,
Right.
you could tell when there's no women in the writers room. Like, you could tell
Mhm.
when there's no black people in the writers room. You could just tell.
Oh yeah.
You could just tell, and that shit is very disheartening, because like, it changes your whole view of shit, and it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, we're an afterthought. You just trivialized us because you thought you could write us without one of us present, and that shit is whack. Like,
Right.
and yeah, or not write us at all. And like, to your point about The Last of Us, right? Like, to your point about The Last of Us, I think it's mad funny, like how everybody was like, oh, gets fucking, before the game even came out, they were like, Joel gets his head bashed in by a T word, and like, you know what I mean, and like, it was a ton of videos like making the fucking like it's ma'am jokes or whatever, all this other stupid transphobic bullshit. Then the game comes out, and it turns out that Abby not even trans.
Right.
Abby's just a buff cis girl. And if that's not like the biggest fuck you to like every transphobic asshole that has something to say, like that I thought that was one of the high points of the game for me. Is like, wow, like, it's almost like they knew people would have some stupid shit to say about this character. So they made the really buff cis girl like, just like, no, she's not even trans. Yeah, like, it's like they knew like the fucking dickheads are gonna come in droves about this bullshit.
Hmm.
So
They sent death threats to the fucking like
yeah, it's wild. So
the
so they were
creators of the
like,
game.
okay, you know what? She just got hands, and she big.
Mhm.
Like she just got hands, whatever. But she's
She was
cis.
straight up sleeping them niggas. Just
Yo,
pop, pop.
No, for real.
and
Be
then
like that.
the
Like,
actual trans character, is this like 12-year-old, very fucking, very fully realized, like, you know what I mean, like a 12-year-old struggling with his identity and like his place in all of this. Like, it's
Mhm,
so wild. Like, if you just like, if you care, it's gonna show, right? Because
mhm,
it's a fucking video game about zombies and like the apocalypse, and like, you know what I mean. Like, they could have easily been like, well, we ain't got time to tell that story because we're telling this story. But like, they took the time to be like, no, we're like, let's see, let's fucking take the time to like actually care about how this fits in with all of this, instead of like the
Mhm.
cyberpunk way is like, oh, let's make this really cool world, and here's a trans flag. Yeah, like,
mhm. Yeah.
like,
Eh,
it's,
real quick,
yeah.
Loop said something I wanted to. I could not verbalize correctly. So I think it's fine to consume problematic media. Most things are. I think we enjoy the things while still analyzing or being critical of it. Feel people think it's an either or situation when it's not. And yeah, that's a point I wanted to make, but I'm not smart enough to verbalize.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. But yeah, yeah. In any case, Lou, will you, will you play Cyberpunk, or are you just gonna you're just gonna skip it entirely?
Well, for me personally, it's just like even without like the problematic and like the whole things regarding commodifying like trans identities. I wasn't gonna play it anyway because again, it's not a game that appealed to me.
Hmm.
It's not a game that appealed to me. It's not something that compels me to play it, and it's just not really my kind of game.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean
So that's what's like
that's kind of how I felt about it too.
Acceptable.
It was
so
just like this endless hype, and it was like, all right. I mean, you know,
Yeah. I'm just waiting for it to get delayed December 9th again.
dude, I wasn't around for the initial hype, right? So like, I'm joining this I'm joining this like I've heard about it for the first time, no joke, like maybe a little bit before the Keanu trailer.
Hmm.
So like I wasn't there for like the initial reveal or the initial like trailer and all this other shit. So yeah, I'm kind of with Lou, like unless it's like unless it's on sale or something, or it's gifted to me on Steam or whatever, like I'm not super I'm not really into I'm not really I'm not like that into it. But yeah, especially now with this revelation that like is crazy. By the way, thanks Lou for sharing that, and shout out to Amanda Stevens, um, uh, for writing the article, because that's
uh,
a
uh,
whole.
It's somebody else that wrote the article. Amanda Stevens was the one that had pointed out the commodifying of and like the exploitation of transness. That was a separate quote altogether. And then the
Okay.
excerpt I read was from just a regular Polygon article.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's two different things. It was two different things basically pointing out the issues with Cyberpunk.
okay. Who
Yeah.
was the who? So who wrote
I
the?
would I will find out for you later on, but
Okay.
somebody had just took a screen cap of those excerpts and I just found it while like
Oh, I
searching for
see.
Cyberpunk stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Amanda Stevens was the one that had said reminder that Cyberpunk exploits transness for cheap entertainment and shock factor and objectifies trans bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
That is attributed to Amanda Stevens, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah. Shout out to Amanda for shedding light on that, because as a cis hetero guy, like that's not something I think about. You know what I mean? Like it's not like admittedly that's not something that I think about, because it doesn't like it's I should, right, like because I care about trans people. You know what I mean? I care about the LGBTQIA community, but sometimes it's like it's easy to get lost in my heteronormative normative ways, and just be like, yeah, this is a cool thing, without like really analyzing how it affects people who don't necessarily.
Without understanding nuance, yeah.
Yeah, without understanding like how it affects people who necessarily don't necessarily look like me or feel like me, like in their own bodies. So like that was cool. So thanks for bringing that up. That was really nice.
For
um
sure.
so yeah. So what about the rest of y'all? Me, Lou and I are kind of opting out. Mel, you still? Oh wait, actually, I had a question. So Lou, what do we say then? And this is just me asking your own personal opinion. This isn't for any other reason, but it's because you shared the article, the excerpt, and you shared Amanda's tweet. So, what say you then to people who would choose to consume this game? Like because I don't think it speaks to like are people who are playing the game inherently transphobic, right? Or because it's the like GTA theory, where it's like you can play GTA, you don't have to kill anybody. You can just, you know what I mean? Like, or like you can just obey traffic laws and like drive like a normal person and like go to yoga and shit. You know what I mean? Like, so is it inherently problematic to play, or like, do you think it would be inherently problematic to play a game like this, or or is it more on a interpersonal level, where it's like, the door is open for people to do really really bad and really tasteless shit, um, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody who plays it is gonna do that. So like, where do you
So
what do
so
you
where I
think?
so I stand on the latter with that. It's just like if Mel up here wants to play Cyberpunk, I'm not gonna hold it against her.
Mhm.
We've made her aware of, the issues that people are having with Cyberpunk. And again, it's like you said, the door's open for people to do stupid fucked up shit. Like the excerpt, mentioned. It's just like, people might make characters, worthy of mockery and want to be, transphobic assholes. That's clearly not going to be everybody.
Mhm.
And, and just because, the option is there doesn't mean that the game is going to force you
Mhm.
to engage in these options. So you can play the game any way you want, and you could play the game that has issues with like trans representation without being a shitface about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is like if a game gives you options to do decent things and not be a shitlord, then more power. And then I'm not going to discourage anybody from playing the game. If it's a game that's designed where you have to engage in shitty decisions or do things that are harmful to like minority communities, then yeah, then I'm going to have a problem with people who engage in that kind of game.
Mhm.
But with Cyberpunk, it's just an issue of representation for me, and if people want to play it, people want to play it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, after this, now, Will, do you see your giant dick joke as as somewhat lending to this sort of kind of mockery of bodily autonomy and representation and shit like that, or like was it just kind of like a joke thing to you? Like, do you
It's a
see
joke. It's for that type of shit. It's a joke thing to me. I
like
mean,
do you see it as but do you see it
I
how it
personally
could
don't see
anyway
the.
be like harmful or anything? I'm genuinely
I,
asking. I'm not saying it might be. I'm just
uh,
asking.
um, for me personally, no, I don't see there's any harm in that joke whatsoever. I mean, unless you're upset about, I mean, your own anatomy, and I'm not poking fun at anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like I don't understand how it would see. Like I can't even see how it can be part way offensive.
Yeah. No, it's
You
just
know what I'm saying?
cuz like, you never know, right? Like me, like dude, I don't know, like there's some stuff like with my vasectomy, like I'm always like, yeah, men fucking get vasectomies, you know? And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like and it's like shout out my friend Pierre, who is trying to start this private practice for to get black people free therapy. So that's really dope.
That's what's up.
But Pierre's
Big
always
ups.
is always on my ass about like, correcting me about like, yo, like remember like put the cis with the ass. Like Pierre's always like cis asterisk, because
Mm-hmm.
like because I don't think about like for me like I was assigned male at birth and that's how I identify. So like
Mm-hmm.
what I'm equipped with is just how I talk. But I
Mm-hmm.
gotta but you gotta be more mindful of like how that affects people, even if you don't see an issue with it. And it's like for
Mm-hmm.
me it's like the like
See,
for
I'll
me
tell.
yeah, yeah,
All right. See, so I tell you why I don't see an issue with it is because I'm putting it on a fictitious character that does not exist within the world and isn't. I'm not propping that character onto like on a media basis, on a fucking global basis for people to consume. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like I'm not drawing a caricature of any specific person.
Yeah.
So I honestly, and me, like I'm usually, well, not the first, I'm because you're the first, but I'm the second person to be like, oh shit, like let me fucking correct myself in this situation. And it's like and there's no personal way, like, because I'm even sensitive to things like that. But there's like that in every avenue that I've explored, it's like I can't see how, like, that my reasoning for doing that to this my fucking in-game avatar that no
Yeah.
one else is, that no one else is going to interact with other than me. I can't see it as offensive.
And
Okay.
honestly, I would love to see a video of Will's, giant bulge character where it's just like the bulge fucking renders after the rest of the character, and then
Yeah.
whenever he's walking around, his bulge is the first thing to go through the door. It's like bulge first, then the rest of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I just I just see it as like a completely, like, just, because obviously genitals is always funny to us as children, like in general, and I don't see it anything other than that,
Mhm.
just immature humor, but not
Yeah.
Yeah,
immature in the realm of,
It's not punching down.
yeah, exactly.
yeah. Also going back to going briefly back to what Rainey was talking about when he was talking about the vasectomy. It's just like, man, blah blah blah, and props to your friend for like putting you on and reminding you to correct yourself, because I'll be one of the first people to be like, if I had seen that and I had, I felt any particular sort of way, I probably would have corrected you myself, because I identify as non-binary, but
Of course.
I'm assigned male at birth. So, it's good that you're encouraging vasectomies, because you're deviating from the social norm that us as individuals with penises need to have kids. We
Yeah.
don't. We don't.
Yeah.
That
know?
and like the I'm just trying to do away with this idea that contraception and whatever happens thereafter, like whether or not contraception should even like I'm just trying to do away with the idea that contraception is only an option for uterus havers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to I'm trying to normalize that shit, because
Yeah.
next to celibacy, next to abstinence, like vasectomy is literally the next best thing. Like it's the next best option, and like that's just kind of what I'm trying to champion with this shit. But yeah,
Yeah,
and
and I do
that's
appreciate that.
yeah. Thank you, thanks, Lou. I really appreciate it. But that's another thing, right? Like Lou is non-binary. You know what I mean? So like whatever that means to whatever like basically what like men aren't the only people with penises. The same way
Of
like
course.
women aren't the only people with uteruses. So like uteri is it uteri? Is it uteruses? I don't know.
The English
Keith's
language is
Scoots.
hard.
Yeah, but
The
what?
English language
But
is
whatever. Like, just it goes back to that like cis heteronormative like language, that kind of shit that we like. You know what I mean? Oh, it is
Yeah.
Shit that
uteri.
we grew up with, the shit that we have to unlearn as we get older.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but yeah. All right. So are we good to move on to the next thing?
It's
Yeah.
actually good that honestly, it's good that we touched on, like, whole trans representation,
Hmm.
and like the language that we use to to address individuals as, because I feel like the way this conversation ended up going is just the perfect segue for the whole
Sure.
Elliot Page thing.
Yeah. I was gonna.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I
I
was gonna get
agree.
into next. Uh, first of all, I mean, you know what I mean. What is as Lou, as non-binary? Like, what does this? What does this mean? What does this reveal mean to you in particular? You don't. I mean, is a non-binary is a trans identity, right?
Um, I guess I personally never really thought about it. It's just I never felt like I identified as either genuinely masculine or genuinely feminine. Just
Hmm.
I literally, for me, gender is just like the how Doctor Who addresses time. It's just a ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel more masculine on certain days. Sometimes I feel more feminine on certain days.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
it's all just a personal journey for me,
Yeah.
as I learn to be comfortable in myself and learn to live my truth.
Yeah. So what does the what does Elliot Page's uh journey, I guess. And sorry if I stumble on my words. It's just I'm not super
We're
knowledgeable.
reprogramming ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not
Trust
super
me, trust me.
knowledgeable on like the correct language or terminology with certain stuff, but like what is like how did you feel reading Elliot's whole revealed thing and like the whole like I just want to get a sense of like
Basically of him coming out.
yeah, like
My
what,
thing was
yeah.
my thing was just like the first two words that came to mind. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
because because
Yeah.
because I if anything, I want people to live their truth.
Mhm.
Elliot came out and he's just like, hey, this is who I am, this is how I identify, and and we just don't keep it pushing,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that Elliot has become comfortable with himself, with themselves, to basically just express their truth.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's all I could ever ask for anybody, is to just to be able to live their truth. But us as a community, we have to foster that sort of environment where we can allow people to live their truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as I could tell, it's by the way, for the record, for anybody in the chat, as far as I know, it's totally okay to refer to characters that Elliot has portrayed that have been women as women, but it's not okay to dead name Elliot ever. So
Yeah.
like Vanya's still Vanya, right? Like Juno's still Juno. Those
Mhm.
characters
Right.
are still women, but Elliot's Elliot. So
Yeah.
Juno
Mhm.
portrayed by Elliot Page. You know, like that's because it was a little bit weird for me too, and the whole there's also this whole thing with like transphobes and shit, like just looking for any excuse to be stupid, and like they're Elliot is reprising his role as Vanya, and people are kind of like, oh well, what the fuck? Well, like what's the world coming to, and all this other extra bullshit, and it's like y'all ain't had no problem with Eddie Redmayne, like you know what I mean? Eddie Redmayne straight ass fucking playing a trans person. Y'all had no problem with fucking with with
Chris
uh
Tucker,
with Chris Tucker.
fucking
With Jared, y'all had
Fifth
no
Element.
problem with Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so let's not act like Elliot. Let's not act like Elliot Page doing what he gonna do is some new fucking like earth shattering reality bending thing that you can't fucking comprehend in your little feeble brain. Let's not go there. So just wanted to say that shit because that shit was getting me tight. I seen it this morning and that shit was super whack. But yeah, Mel, do you have anything to add? I feel like it's just been us kind of on the subject.
No, no, basically, no. You guys basically took the words right out of my mouth. It's just very proud. Like the first thing I thought was like that's courageous. It takes a lot for someone to, finally like come to terms with their identity and, to actually put it out there. There's people are gonna backlash or whatever, but I saw a lot of support, and I was one of those people supporting too. So it's amazing to see, and like everyone's journey is different. So it's something that's like I said, it was amazing, and I'm very happy. So that's
Yeah,
basically it.
yeah. I think that's the general. I mean, I wouldn't give no fucking transphobe the platform anyway. So, but
Word.
I don't want to move on too
Yeah.
quickly from this
Hmm.
because I want to give it the time that it deserves, and you know what I mean, the platform it deserves. But at the same time, like we're all like-minded people. Like that's kind of what Hearst Boys is. Like we're never gonna be like, okay, but like that's not. But yeah, like
Well, actually,
yeah, nah, that's like it's never gonna come down to fucking whataboutisms and shit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, big shout out Elliot. Also, one thing I really liked was like Elliot's moment was super personal. And I tweeted about this. It was super personal, probably very scary. I don't know what that's like. I don't want to speak for anybody, but um, based on my time with trans people, my friends who are trans of trans identity of trans experience, um, coming out scary. You know what I mean? And like, it was really cool of Elliot to use that sort of like that podium to address trans violence and like violence against trans people, trans women
Word.
specifically, and like bring awareness to that during a very personal moment. Like I thought that was super cool. Like like I thought because based on his A-list status and you know what I mean, like everything like that, like he totally didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like he totally didn't have to specify, you know, uh, black trans women, Latinx trans women. Like he didn't have to, but he did, and I respect that so much. Like the whole thing was just like very beautiful for me. Um, so yeah. But JJ. Oh yeah, JJ got into it with her dad, about some fucking about some shit about Elliot's coming out. And my dad was upset that a YouTuber he watches got checked for addressing this story a bit insensitively. He rolled his eyes at the fact that people should do their research when it comes to how to respect trans identities. He claimed that using the dead name is right because he didn't know who Elliot was. And that's, I mean, you kind of, I mean, read the room. Like you just got to do your research. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like if you don't know who Elliot is or was, it's your job to find that out before you put media out there. Like
Right.
before you cover a story, you should know the whole story.
Hmm.
You know,
do your research.
like that. It's really that simple. I don't, and
Yeah.
I'm not laughing. Like dead naming people is not funny. Like I'm not laughing at that. But
Stop.
like, but it's very like, I mean, it's yeah,
It's a no
yeah,
shit situation,
yeah,
bro.
kind of,
Like
yeah. I was
it,
trying to be nice
it,
about
Hmm.
it,
in the
but
words of Little John,
yeah,
read a book.
yeah.
Read a book.
Read a
Read a
motherfucking book.
motherfucking book.
Read a motherfucking book. Yeah. But yeah, Papa Noir was like, when I read the Elliot article, I was like lit, but there was a little part of me that was upset that he didn't change his name to something wild like Demarcus or Jean Paul. Like, but his choice, you know. But I get why he
What did
changed it to Elliot. It makes sense for his career and shit. Yeah, that's cool. I
re-
like I like when names can do that. Like I like when you know, like names just work out that way.
yeah.
Like you know, his old name to Elliot is like it's not it's not that hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not that hard
Mhm.
because his old name was similar. So like if anything, that makes it even easier for dumb cis people like me to to digest and be like, yeah, it's like yeah,
It also puts people into a you have no fucking excuse to forget this shit.
exactly,
If
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
if
yeah,
if the if the chosen name is phonetically similar or nearly identical to the dead name, it's just like there's very little difference there. There's very little reason and no excuse that you should fucking forget.
That is fact.
Like literally, my dead name and my current name are one syllable apart. There's no reason that if you knew me back when you knew my dead name, that you
Mhm.
should forget my current name
Yeah.
because it is literally half of my dead name.
Yeah.
It's literally half my
Hands
dead
down.
name. You have no fucking excuse.
Yo, real quick, because he said because Papa Nor said Demarcus. What was the name of the fucking What was the name of what did you give the baby's name in fucking Death Stranding again, Rainy?
oh, Daquan Crawford.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's what I named. Yeah, I named cause for a long time like the BB unit like you don't know their name until like the very end of the fucking game. So I like they just called it BB the entire time. And I was like, I'm not calling my BB that. I'm gonna give it a name. So I named the little motherfucker Daquan Crawford. So that's
Oh my
so that's
god.
yeah that but um but yeah, big shout out Elliot Page.
Word.
Wish him the
Yeah,
Bless
for
up.
best.
real.
I'm
Bless up.
excited.
Boop,
I'm
boop.
excited to see like where what his journey's gonna be like. It's gonna be nice to watch. Gonna be good. And then not like a spectacle, but you know what I mean. Just like people living their truth, like Lou said. But
Absolutely.
but yeah. So the next topic we could hit either. I feel like
We gotta do let's
let's get
get
this.
Cardi B get the fuck
Yeah,
out of here,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's get this
Yeah,
Cardi
yeah.
shit out of the way. Okay,
I have a little bit to say about that, but I'm gonna let you lead.
I'm just gonna go ahead and and recap real quick for anyone who doesn't know. Cardi, Cardi B is a public figure of sorts. You know, has delved into politics a little bit, but is mainly known for being a regular, degular, schmegular girl from the Bronx who blew up being 100% herself and sticking to that and being her authentic Bronx girl self or whatever. And then yesterday she tweeted some tone deaf shit about buying a nearly $100,000 bag, an $88,000 bag, and just posting on the timeline, damn, should I buy this bag or whatever? Like, you guys, I don't know if I should get this bag. And the entire timeline kind of erupted and was like, yo, like, fucking break me off some. Like, no, motherfucker, like, don't buy the bag. Fucking break me off some of that 88K. You shitting me? Like, and
Right.
and then so then there was a giant back and forth. She's always arguing. She's always going like she's not above the drama. So she's always going back and forth. So then it started this discourse on the timeline. You have bootlickers. You have bootlickers who think that they're gonna fucking make millions or whatever, saying, "Well, it's her money. She can do what she wants." Blah blah blah. You have other people who are like, "This is wholly irresponsible. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and you flexing on your followers. Your followers, who, by the way, cannot like got you to the point where you can afford an $88,000 bag." And then there's people in the middle who are like, yeah, I get it. I get why people are upset, but also Cardi B is gonna Cardi B. Um, so yeah, Lou had some feelings about this. I want to know what they think.
Uh, I am one of those people in the middle, where I can understand it's a fucking pandemic. People are struggling to make ends meet. A lot of people are afraid of making sure that their next rent check hits on time. We've only been sitting here as a joke of a world where we're the only country that's had one fucking stimulus of $1,200 from like what almost like fucking 6 9 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Almost every other major country in the world has some sort of fucking monthly stimulus for people, and here we are, a measly $1,200 check, and rising cases because people don't want to wear fucking masks. But in any case, on one hand, yes, it is irresponsible to ask that sort of thing to your follow base, the majority of them who are most likely in the lower income brackets.
Mhm.
So that's like asking me, a starving person, if you should order filet mignon from a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah.
That's like saying, hey, I have the means to do this, you don't, but should I do this anyway?
It's the parasite car. It's the parasite car ride personified.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in real life.
And fucking dumb.
It's the
And
it's the
fucking
car
dumb.
ride. It's the car ride for Parasite. Literally, like, in real life. Fucking Cardi's in the back like this on the phone, like, yeah, the rain was great. It fucking watered all our trees and shit. and the rest of us
Meanwhile, their
are
shit is
sitting in the
flooded.
driver's seat soaked because we lost everything, and we gotta hear you fucking talk about your fucking $88,000 bag and shit.
So there's that. So there's that whole, there's that irresponsible aspect. And then on the other hand, you're right. Cardi's gonna Cardi, and it basically Cardi's gonna Cardi, but it's not gonna stop people from talking to Cardi like they know her. It's like
Yeah.
this whole parasocial relationship shit that people think is okay, but
Yeah.
it's not, because it's just like Cardi don't know you from a hole in the wall, so she ain't gonna give. She is not gonna give a shit about what you have to say. And if you're gonna talk out the side of your mouth to her, it's Cardi.
Yeah.
She is going to burn you to ashes
Yeah. and
with
it's
her
also-
massive follow base.
Yeah. And then people are like, oh, well, that's irresponsible. You should know. Like, no. You spoke to. Listen, you're an adult on the internet, supposedly, I'm assuming. You're an adult on the internet who came for another adult on the internet. You should be able to, like, everything about what you did was entirely your fucking choice. You know who Cardi B is. You know the type of time she on. You know her follow base is 5 million strong. So if you say some slick shit and then you get retweeted onto her 5 million strong timeline, that is on you. That is on you. You came outside looking for problems. And what does grandmama say all the time? What does grandmama say all the time? Fucking stay in your goddamn lane. Don't look for no damn problems.
Mind your goddamn neck.
Literally, yo, yeah, and it's but yeah,
It's the classic saying: you play stupid games, you win stupid
you with
prizes.
stupid prizes, exactly. But yeah, so but yeah, Mel, tell us your thoughts. I mean, are you a Cardi? Do you fuck with Cardi? Are you a fan? Did you know what was going on?
Yeah.
How do you feel
I
about it?
definitely didn't know about that until like right now, until we're actually talking about it, because I didn't see it. But I like Cardi. Like I'm a Bronx native. She's a Bronx native, so it's like, all right, cool. Like I'm in the middle. Obviously, like, we're dealing with a pandemic. There are people that are out of work, and unemployment about to run out. So it's a whole lot of stuff that's going on, and people have bills to pay at the end of the day. But it's true, Cardi's gonna do whatever it is that Cardi's gonna do.
Mhm.
So I don't know. She said what she said, and like it's like I don't live by what she's saying or what she does, so I don't really care for it. I just know what I gotta do, and like I said, like it's either you support it or you don't, or you're in between, like you said. And I guess I'm fairly like in the middle. Like I just hope that we get past this whole pandemic thing. That's my hope for this
Yeah.
whole situation. Like
Yeah.
we just need to get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
But those are my thoughts on it. But I feel like, but people are gonna say what they're gonna say, and then they still turn around like listen to her music. Still,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like that's the
Sure.
way that's the way I think I'm gonna. That's the way I see it. 'Cause, but,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a
Alright.
lot of sense. Yeah, for sure. What's
Yeah.
up, Will?
All right. Yeah. All right. So before I go on my spiel, Leo, Mel's a current guest on our show, so I'm opted to stand in here and say, nigga, you live in Brooklyn. You ain't in the Bronx. The fuck you talking, bro?
Oh my God, he's everywhere else.
Brother, no, you live in Clinton Hill, bro.
Oh my God, get this whitewashed man out of the chat.
Oh!
They ain't nothing but
Oh!
co-ops
Get him
over
outta
there,
here,
homie.
bro. He's gonna be
They ain't nothing but
toxic.
co-ops
Oh my
and
god.
condominiums, bro. The fuck you
Co-op.
talking?
Out of here, bro. I
Yo.
cannot. He's always got something to say, bro. Just leave, Leo. Leave, please.
Oh my God.
Yo,
I'm screaming.
drink,
Leo
yo,
from
Oh
Brooklyn,
my
you should not be
yo,
talking.
yo,
Get
yo,
out of
Oh
here.
my
yo,
God. No.
Ew,
drink your
bro.
kale juice and shut the fuck up.
Nah,
All right,
Leo's not from Brooklyn. That's the problem, Lou.
he's from
He's
the
from
Bronx.
here, but he be everywhere else. He be
That's what I'm
everywhere
saying.
else.
So
Yo, bro, I
I
know
don't
where
want to
you
hear it.
stay, Leo.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it.
I mean,
Bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm from Brooklyn, but I've been in the Bronx most of my life, so I may as well have been from the
Yo,
Bronx.
listen,
Sure.
I'm gonna show up at this on the G train, on the G train stop you live at, homie. I'm gonna pick
Oh
up
my
some.
God.
I'm gonna pick up some kombucha, drink half of it, and then throw that shit through your window. Keep on with your shit, bro. All
Oh
right,
my God. Holy
so
fuck. Holy
Look
so
fuck.
at
Wow.
him, bro. Look at what he's
He's
saying,
yo,
Leo.
he's
Yo,
wildin'.
yo,
He's
square up,
wildin'.
Leo. Square up, like for real.
you say the fuck I won't. I work in Williamsburg, bro. That's a train stop away, homie.
Oh my God.
Yo,
Okay.
he talks all that smack, bro, but won't
All
do
right,
nothing, bro.
so so
Wow.
so
Wow.
regarding the Cardi B situation. All right, so Cardi B remind me of one of those girls from back in the fucking day that whenever they got a little bit of money, like, damn, should I buy this? And they would post it on their fucking MySpace page or their fucking like Facebook. So it's like, okay, yeah, I fucking expect it. Y'all joined Cardi through this journey knowing very well who the fuck she is, right?
Mhm.
So her doing that little flaunt, I don't even see it as her fucking like projecting herself there. I feel like she was like legitimately. It's some shit you would do. You had like fucking your mom's gave you fucking $200 for fucking Christmas, or your uncle, your grandma gave you some fucking money for Christmas, and he's like, "Damn, should I buy this? Like, damn, should I buy this? Like, damn, should I buy?" Like, that's all she was fucking doing, in my opinion, right? I'm still like in between there. Like, I'm not on either side of this situation. I do wholeheartedly get how it feels to be on the other end, like being fucking like dirt fucking broke, not be barely being able to fucking afford your rent or your fucking bills or whatever it may be. Like, I was that kid that hung out with the group of people that played fucking basketball and then went to the fucking mall food court afterwards with no bread on me, watching motherfuckers eat, you know? But it's not like I watched them go over to the fucking Taco Bell and pick themselves up like a fucking chalupa fucking whatever, and just me just sitting there like, damn, they can afford a chalupa, like. But at the same fucking time, it's just like, it being as I've been there, it's like, and I see this is a fucking A-list fucking celebrity. Like, if you think there's any realm of relatability still there prior to the days that she was in them streets, like, I can't, like, you need a reality check at that point, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, sure. Like, I can't feel bad for the people getting mad at her doing that, only because it's like right the fuck there in your goddamn face.
Yeah.
Yo, how the Hearst boys just joined the channel? That's wild. Just fucking followed, bro. What the fuck was that?
Oh no,
Um,
I'm testing the widget because it's like not like the
oh,
whole
okay,
like it's not showing the whole thing.
yeah,
Like when it
okay.
shows up, and that's really annoying, and I hate that. So
I hear
I'm
you.
just like
Like, we
trying to
got we
fix
got to
it.
talk to our lead programmer.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's like that. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's just a bunch of nonsense as
Mhm.
a whole. It's
Yeah.
like I'm as a person who has lived through poverty through majority of his life and is currently going through this entire pandemic as well as everyone else. I get it. I understand how easy it is to be frustrated in these in moments like those.
Mhm.
But look at Virgil Abloh, bro.
Oh my God. Fuck. Oh my God. But I feel like
He's
with
at
the
50
Cardi
bucks.
thing. Yeah. Here's two
Yo, here's a
Virgils.
Virgil. Yo, here's two Virgils. All
Yeah.
right?
But like I feel like at the same time, like, you know, let's not act like Cardi hasn't given back. You know, like
Yeah.
Cardi has definitely given back. Like remember during the summer she was like, "Yo, this pandemic shit is crazy. I'm gonna give a bunch of women $500 each."
Yeah.
That was pretty big, right? Like that was huge. But at the same time, like 500, like in comparison, 88,000. Like if you're spending $88,000 on one single handbag, then that means $500 is a drop in a bucket to you. You know what I mean? Like that's like, and she tried to kind of use that as this sort of like, oh, you see, like it's funny how they switch up on you, like, cause one of the girls that received the 500 was like, yo, I'm one of your grateful recipients of the $500 that you were giving away this summer, and
Mm.
but I still feel like this was a little bit like insensitive and stuff, and like Cardi was like, yo, you see how they switch up on you, and it's like, nah, not really, because like when you say shit like that, like when you say, damn, should I buy this fucking should I buy this mortgage handbag? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, when you say shit like that, like, okay, then like late stage capitalism is crazy because like Jeff Bezos just built homeless shelters for Amazon employees. That is a real thing that happened.
He
That
bought.
is not a
He,
that is not a shit post, people. That is
he
actual
I'm
thing.
sorry. Can you repeat that sentence?
Okay.
Jeff Bezos built a homeless shelter for Amazon employees.
That if that doesn't say anything about about employee welfare in this current capitalist society, then I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
very
Walmart employees are on welfare.
Bro, what?
Yeah. Well, they urge they actually condone Walmart employees to go on fucking welfare.
yeah. Yeah, Amazon is opening a homeless shelter at its HQ a year after killing a tax to help the homeless.
What?
So yeah, so they did away with so part of Amazon's tax, right? Like part of what you pay as a shopper in tax went to homeless relief, like houseless folks to get them
Yeah.
shelter and shit. So they're opening a homeless shelter at HQ a year after doing away with the tax that helped homeless people. So yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit going on. But
Mm.
but
Also,
yeah, I mean what yeah, I don't know.
going back to the whole handbag bit, as far as like the whole $500, all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, $500 is a bucket and drop it, but for perspective, with that $88,000, that if she were still doing that giveaway, that 88,000 would have gone to 176 women.
No, yeah, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like exactly. Like
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Like the $500 thing like it doesn't like there's no hill for you to stand on, right? Cuz $500 doesn't mean the same thing that it does. Like when I give back, like I don't really like posting that shit unless it's like a mutual aid thing. So
Wait,
that
what
way
are
like
you, Mr. Beast?
what? Oh, cuz like if I give back or whatever, it's like I'm gonna DM you and be like, "Yo, here." You know what I mean? Like, "Here, take that." You know what I mean? Like a couple of my trans friends like I make sure they get their nails done and shit sometimes. And like that's not something that I'm going to like I'm not doing it's not performative allyship, you know what I mean? Like the only time I'm posting that shit really is when it's a mutual aid thing and I'm asking the rest of my timeline to donate. Cuz it's like, okay,
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm not gonna have it all the time. I'm fucking struggling too, But if I have this streaming setup and all of this, and like I have all this stuff, right? And like the person that I retweeted is, if the person I retweeted is like living out their car, then like I can go without ordering food next time at work, so this person could have gas in their car, you know?
Mhm.
And it's like it's that kind of mutual aid thing, and that's the only time I ever post that stuff. So like it is in very bad taste when you use screenshots of your own thing to be like, but oh, like I help these people. I can't have a handbag. It's like no one's saying you can't. It's just tweeting about that shit is kind of tasteless. But at the same time, you cannot expect people to you can't disrespect people and then expect them to hold your hand. Like
Yeah.
you can't disrespect people. You can't
Mhm.
talk to Cardi crazy and then expect her to just be fucking over the moon about that shit. Like nah, that's not how people work. Like
Yeah.
you know, people think that like they're talking to a robot named Cardi B that only exists on a screen on Twitter. Like, no, this is a human being with thumbs that's typing this.
Mhm.
Right. No,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Yeah.
The problem with parasocial relationships sometimes. Like people, so it's like you have all these people talking to Cardi regular degular, like they know her, like they grew up with her. It's just like no,
Yeah.
you just know a portion of her. You just know the shit that she posts on her timeline. You
Mhm.
don't actually know who Cardi is. You're acquainted with the idea of Cardi, but you're not
Mhm.
acquainted with Cardi herself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh
I
wait,
agree.
Natalie. Sorry, Mel. Go ahead.
Nautilus.
Nautilus said, okay, it's a real shelter, but it's for anyone. It's not for Amazon employees specifically. Oh, okay. Oh, I heard that was a joke headline. It's real. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the shelter itself is real. It's not specifically for Amazon employees. I guess that was a joke headline.
But then that just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they did away with the tax that helped homeless people last year, and then you're gonna go and build a home. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Why, you want to know why? It's tax reductions on property. That's the fuck why.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Mel. You were gonna get into something right before I said.
No.
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 Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
All right.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Whatever.
okay. So our last topic for the day. Oh wait, let's real quick. Let's just do a quick glance over the chat. Hold on, we roasted Leo. Let's go before that.
Ban
All right,
him.
so let's go back to Lawrence.
What you do? I'm gonna go take the question.
So Cardi built her brand off of being relatable, and the issue is that she doesn't realize she's not relatable anymore. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I fucking yes, I hard agree. Like, there's no more to say.
Oof. Big oof.
Yeah. Papa Noir says, I'm in the middle in the fact that, yeah, it was tone deaf, of course, but she's just a person with money. People like nice things. If you can afford it, go off, but don't crucify her for being rich when she's also been out here speaking up on certain issues when most celebs don't do anything. But yes, she definitely should have read the room. Yeah. Yeah, that's another point, too. It's like, like, Cardi ain't have to get into fucking politics. Cardi ain't have to talk to these people. Like, but she out here, she doing it because she didn't forget where she's from. I think in some aspects she didn't exactly, like, she didn't forget where she's from. Yeah, JJ said, I honestly felt so bad for Cardi because she was going down in flames on the timeline, but could not bother to try to understand why people were even upset. It's like, yeah, that's true, but again, like, my platform is 17,000 people. If I say something out of pocket, or I say something insensitive, or I just don't really think about something before I tweet it, then I'm going to get cooked. And it's never more than like 10 or 20 people at a time coming for me, right? But that's still, like, it gives me anxiety. I don't like being yelled at, and it feels like I'm getting fucking ganged up on, right? That's just with my 17K following. Remember, I'm a human fucking being. So, like, jumping the gun and, like, saying, like, if I, calling me fucking, like, if I say something insensitive, jumping to fucking transphobic, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah. Like, if I say something out of turn or whatever, then please use that as a teaching moment, right? And be like, yo, this wasn't okay for this reason. But having total strangers, right? Like the Reddit thing with Francesca that I don't want to get into, but having a total stranger, like, make this claim about me, like, that's anxiety inducing, and that's like really traumatizing. Like, I need everybody to like me. I am not ashamed of this. I need everybody to like me. I need to do good by everybody because I want everybody to like me. And I need to be able to walk into a room and everybody be like, oh, cool, Rainey's here. Even if it's not like on some, like, yo, yes, fucking Rainey's fucking life of the party, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be no extra shit like that. But
only Rainey does that for me when I visit his tattoo shop.
That is true, yes. But I'm just another human being trying, right? So, like, I have the same feelings, like, for Cardi. It's like, if I freak out with my 17K following, there are 5 million people watching everything Cardi says and does on Twitter.
Yeah.
You think you expect her to handle this shit with poise and grace and fucking, like, that's a human being you are talking to. You are one of millions. You are one of millions saying this shit. So, like, let's cut the bullshit. Let's not act like they fucking owe you courtesy because you want to fucking get on your high horse and shit. But one broccoli said, the Cardi situation is funny. A person who Cardi donated money to came and said what Cardi said was tone deaf. Cardi then pretty much alluded to that person being ungrateful, and then pretty much opened her up for Cardi stans to attack. I didn't agree with it, but she set herself up to be ratioed into oblivion by Cardi fans. Yeah,
Ratio that
yo, but
nigga.
but that's what
It's my
happens,
favorite
right? Like
meme.
that's what happens. Like you said something, and like you kind of, I don't know. Is that victim blaming? Is that what am I doing that?
You're
Like
not victim blaming.
like if
All
you
right,
said
all
like if you
right.
said what you
So,
said, right? If you said what you
mhm.
said, and then like I just don't understand this notion that like famous people have this responsibility to little old you to like protect you or whatever. Like
Yeah, no, I can't. One sec. I can't see how it's victim blaming unless it was an actual malicious attack towards a fucking person, right? Malicious, not only being like physical, but verbally too. Which I don't know if that happened. Was it like extreme fucking like attacking a person's like fucking gender or
nah, she
race or
wasn't she
whatever?
wasn't like, "Oh, you fucking asshole." She was kind of just like, "Yo, it's crazy how people flip on you."
Okay,
And then
so
the Cardi stance took it there.
So,
Mhm.
judging by a person's reaction towards celebrities, because I see it all the fucking time, right? You look and you know personally how wild motherfuckers get
Yeah.
under celebrities fucking like comments or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like the most like disparaging shit I've ever seen in my entire life sometimes. Like, well, how anybody can word something like concoct a sentence so vile is beyond me at times, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, you show your ass. What left us? What's gonna fucking happen when you show your ass?
Yeah, but Lou wanted to make a
No, no, of course. I just
Lou
wanted
had
to
their
make that
fingers
point.
up.
I was
I
just
know, I
like,
know,
Like
I know it was gonna be good, so I need to go before him. Before them. Pardon me.
when it comes to American society, this is the epitome of the First Amendment.
Mhm.
You have freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequence.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say whatever the fuck you want,
Mhm.
but you have to say it with your chest, knowing the consequences, knowing that you are talking to somebody with a 5 million follower count.
Mhm.
And Cardi stands are wild, yo. Cardi stands
Yeah,
don't give a fuck. They see
Yeah.
Cardi roasting, they're gonna jump on that shit.
they all from the
So
Bronx. That's why, bro. They all fucking
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all fucking animals.
I feel
All
it's
of
just
like
them.
like it's just like say it with your chest, but don't feel
mhm.
some type of way when somebody calls you out or somebody roasts you to hell for the shit you said.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mel.
I also feel like, whatever you put out there, it might strike a chord with someone, and you have to be. I don't know how one could prepare for that, like not everyone is gonna handle everything like, hey, by the way, I didn't like what you said. Like, no, you're gonna get dragged, like depending on what you said, and like especially if it was something that was very offensive, I feel like that comes with the territory of having a very strong following or like a big following and whatever content you're promoting, however you got put out there, it's it comes with it, and Rainy, like the fact that you've gone through it before, like how do you cope with that? When you have that anxiety, like that's something I wanted to know because that must be very like nerve wracking, and you're just like, I wouldn't know how to handle it.
I
So,
mean I kind of just like take it with a grain of salt, right? Like for me it's like here's the thing, right? Like I know I'm solid. So
mhm,
as far as like any of the wild shit that's been happening, like especially like with the Smash community and all that, like especially with like allegations, all that other shit, whatever. I'm not worried about no shit like that. Like I'm solid,
right.
I'm straight. I know that. You know what I mean? Everybody that know me know how I get down. Everybody know me know what type of time I'm on. They know my energy. And anybody that would ever say like that would ever fix their lips to say some shit like that is coming from a disingenuous place
Mhm,
based on whatever like based on the fact that they don't like me for whatever reason. But I got receipts for days. I talk to a lot of people. I'm around a lot of people. I'm not worried about that shit. I'm solid. It's the little like big earth shattering like career ending allegations I'm not worried about again. It's the
mhm,
little shit. It's the
Mm-hmm.
little shit. Like little like things that I may say or that I may like slip up on, right? Like the vasectomy thing, right? Like
mhm,
like K Pierre is my homie. So Pierre correcting me is very different than everybody under the replies being like, oh, like, see, another fucking, like, cis het, like, I'm just sick of the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm sick of fucking cis people or whatever. And I'm like, yo, like, it's cool for Pierre to do that, you know what I mean? But, like, y'all are total strangers. If I clap back, you know what I mean? Like, if I clap back, I'm like, okay, well, I understand, but also you don't know me, bro. Like, please, like, don't talk like you know me. And like,
and
it's
that's
very,
the shit I'm talking reckless, bro.
it's a, yo, and it's a balancing act because it's like, okay, where do I put the triangle, and where do I set the beam, right?
Right.
Like, I'm really from it. Like, I'm really from the Bronx. I don't hold my fucking tongue, right? But at the same time, as a person of my platform and as a champion of, like, you know, like, women in gaming spaces, like, trans folks, you know what I mean? Like, as a person who champions those people and those identities and, like, tries to make space for those people in an otherwise heteronormative, male dominated, you know what I mean? Like area, I gotta play the role a little bit. I gotta choose when it's like, you know what I mean? And it's tough. It's like, it's kind of like a it's a day-to-day thing, really. It's kind of just like, okay, well, what am I, like, what can I say to make this right? And what, you know, like, how is that going to be received? So, yeah, it is scary. Like, sometimes I just don't be saying nothing, you know? Like, sometimes I don't be saying nothing, but that can have its adverse effects too, cuz it's like, sorry. Cuz it's like, yo, like, oh, like, you know, you're like, Rainy, you're all about representation in gaming. How come you haven't said X, Y, and Z about A, B, and C? And it's like, yo, I can't be everywhere at once. I don't know everything, and I don't know everybody, you know? So, yeah, I think people like, as Lou was saying, the parasocial shit. Like, people think they know you based on a you know, on an assumption. People think they know
Christian
you
theme song. They think
based
they
on
know
what
you.
you, yeah, based on, like, what you, like,
They
based on
think
what
they-
you say on the internet. Like, that's crazy to me. People think they really know you as a person. People
Right.
think that they come to my house and sit on my couch and shit. Like, we talk, like we homies. We are not boys. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's
and
kind of how that happens.
yeah, and also Nautilus brought up a very valid point. They were like, "Isn't handling criticism part of having a large following, though? If you're not up for that, having a large social media presence isn't necessarily for you. I could take my content so much farther, and I just don't because I know I'm not up for that. And celebrities aren't exempt from needing to know how to hold that L."
That is true, Nautilus, but how many of these celebrities asked for that? How many of these celebrities asked for their position?
Um,
You know what I mean?
so
Like, that's another
yeah,
thing. It's like like Cardi was like one of her earliest videos is like, "Oh, I'm not a comedian. I'm not none of that. I'm a hoe. I'm a stripper hoe." You know, like, that was literally those were her words, you know?
Yeah.
So your love and support of somebody is what propels them forward. Like, with me, right? Based on who I am and what I do and what I stand for on social media and shit like that, right?
is
Like,
also a stripper hoe.
I, but like I like that point, Nautilus to that point, like, that applies to somebody like me, cause I want Hearst Boys to eat, and I want my family to eat, right? So that kind of thing applies to somebody like me. There's a lot of nuance there, and it's like, a lot of celebrities, yo, they didn't ask to be, like, you know what I mean? Like Gunna, like, another example is Gunna, this rapper, right? Um, he recreated the famous Nirvana cover with the baby under the water, and well, he didn't recreate it, but, like, his album cover looked very similar to that. And he was on Hot 97, and they asked him, like, "Oh, was it inspired by Nirvana?" And he's like, "Who is that? I don't know who that is. Is he a rapper?" Like, not, he didn't say is he a rapper, but he was like, "Who is he?" He's like, "I don't know who that is." And it's like, you know, people were, like, upset about it. It's like, how the fuck don't you know Nirvana? But at the same time, it's like, yo, it's Gunna, bro. And also, like, it's just like, everybody's not on the same type of time, and everybody didn't ask for didn't ask to be in whatever situation they are necessarily. So I think there's, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that.
Also, the fact that Cardi B is a human, just as we all are human.
Yeah.
And these type of situations are going to elicit a response.
Mhm.
Regardless, like obviously you can be super professional Hollywood and like not respond to it, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the only choice for you as a fucking human being. You
Yeah.
know? Like there's some weird, I don't know, it's a weird ideology that goes within like standing fucking celebrities and shit like that, where it's like you expect every single person to just be like, I can say whatever the fuck I want about this person under this person's fucking mentions or whatever like that. And because of where they are and who they are, they're not allowed to fucking respond to me. It was like, but at the end of the fucking day, it's like, dude, like it's a fucking human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like you can't expect everybody to play by your rules and shit. And that again, there's nuance there, right? Like if it's concerning transphobia, don't say that shit. If it's concerning like, you know what I mean? Like somebody's identity, like how they identify, like what, you know what I mean? Like there's certain stuff that it's all the way wrong, period, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we talking about a handbag, bro,
Yeah.
like you had a lot to say. You had a lot to say about a handbag, and that
Yeah.
person having a lot to say back is not necessarily wrong. I don't think. Melanie. Oh my God, Oh my God, Melanie's in the chat.
Some people get a platform by chance. I woke up with 20,000 more followers one day for a selfie. No one expects to blow up.
Yeah, that's a fact. Also, how's it going, Melanie?
Uh, okay, so I just tabbed out and I saw that Rainey was out of his seat for a second.
Sorry, sorry, melancholy makes me nervous. But sorry, go ahead.
Ninjutsu.
Why does she make you nervous? If
It's
you don't mind me
it's
asking?
no, that's the homie. We're friends like in real life. So,
Okay.
but some people get a platform by chance. I woke up with 20K more followers one day for a selfie. No one expects to blow up. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going.
Also, Natcat also brought up a very valid point. Also hasn't been mentioned, but do we think that this Cardi situation would have been blown up as much if it were a guy talking about buying some sneakers? Still not excusing the tone deafness of it all, but it seems like there's some inherent sexism in the convo. Ooh.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that's actually because I was thinking about how to phrase it like a couple of moments ago. Ain't nobody saying a goddamn thing about these motherfuckers. New Frieza.
Yeah,
For prime fucking example. New
yeah.
Frieza. Motherfuckers talking about the AP. I just saw a fucking thing online about this dude, Lil Baby, flaunting his new like fucking $250,000 chain.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't ever fucking see it whatsoever, and these dudes are doing it legitimately all the fucking time.
Mhm.
Granted, they don't go on the fucking on that scale of, hey, should I buy this? Should I buy this? You know, they're not doing that, right? But still, literally, they just show up. Yeah, I just dropped 50K on this new AP. Was good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
no, there
That's
definitely is an inherent there's an inherent air of
yeah.
Yeah,
of
but that's
sexism
still
to it.
flexing. There's there
No,
there,
no,
there
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
that's the straight up flex. It's just like, yo, I just dropped all this money. Here.
Mhm.
Witness me in all my material glory type shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we know how that go, right? Like that's what we're
Yeah.
actively trying to combat here. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit,
Mhm.
shout out Luigi6 gifted a sub to Melancholy M. That's dope. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so nice. Sci Guy 90 said, "What is the difference between what is the difference between indirect flexing though?" Well, I think flexing in by its very nature is direct. You cannot indirectly like I mean, I don't know. Like if someone gets a video of you in your Lamborghini and that's just your car, like you didn't necessarily post it, but somebody else got a video of you in it. Like if LeBron is going down the fucking
Word. I want to
995 or
talk
whatever.
about that, JJ.
Yeah, like if LeBron was like, you know, on the highway, somebody caught him. I guess that's an indirect flex because like he wasn't filming himself. Like, yeah, I'm in my fucking Lambo. I'm LeBron fucking James. You know what I mean? I guess
Right.
that's an indirect flex. But I think when it's you yourself, like it's direct no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the nature of the music because Cardi's no stranger to brag tracks. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but again, like while there is an air of sexism to it, I don't know. I feel like trying to get the conversation to go there every single time is like a little weird, and like it feels like shoehorned a little bit because yeah, you're right. No one's talking like when DaBaby talks about when any rapper talks about
Yeah.
having all this money or an AP or whatever. When Future talks about that shit on a track, no one comes at Future like, yo, we're like it's a
Well, no, I
pandemic.
have to excuse that. Everyone comes at Future.
Well,
But
everyone comes at
go
Future
on.
for being a misogynist piece of shit and a horrible dad. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, everyone comes at Future for being a fucking piece of shit. But otherwise, I mean like the money thing, right? Like it's not just cause like Doja Cat's no stranger to brag tracks. Ari's no stranger to brag tracks. Meg is no stranger to brag tracks, and neither is Cardi, right? So I think it's a rapper thing, like being a brag track rapper by its nature, like as far back as fucking like you know what I mean, like Lil Kim, even before that shit, right? Like glam has always been part of it. So I don't think that it's necessarily like, oh, it's because Cardi's a woman flexing. It's like, nah, not really, because no one's coming at her for her songs the same way no one's coming at male artists for their songs. But if it's like the video, like, hey, I just bought this or whatever, because Cardi's done the same thing. Like if you go far down enough in her media, you're gonna see videos of her flexing a new car or some new shoes or a new bag, right? It's this notion that she asked us, starving people, whether or not she should. Like that was the problem to me.
Totally
you know?
get that. Yep.
So that's just kind of where I'm coming from with it.
Yeah. We said we wouldn't spend much time on this fucking topic. Here
But it
we
ended
are,
up
half an hour later.
But it ended up, developing into like nuanced takes about, a bunch of different things, which is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, nuance take on some bullshit. Let's go with Nintendo.
Wait. Hold on, real quick. Hold on,
Okay,
real quick. JJ brought up a great point.
Oh yeah, fucking
Meek Mill filming a group of kids giving $20 total.
Yo,
like,
what you expect?
dude.
You expect? He eat soggy French fries off his
off
knees.
his legs. He ate French fries off his legs.
Wait. Hold on. $20 total.
Yes,
To a group
to
of kids. Not
six.
$20 each.
No,
Not $20 each. $20 total.
Yo, it was one bottle of water.
to six kids to split. Like they all
Yo,
hustling.
they already made their fucking profit off that fucking case of water they made. You feel me? Huh?
Will,
You
shut
feel
up.
me? It was one bottle of water.
Oh my god.
Will, shut the fuck up. Whose
I'm
man?
barely-
Yo, whose man's is this? Whose man's?
I barely want to buy that shit off those dudes on the fucking side road anyway. Like, come on. Now the
Okay,
fruit dude,
but
it's a
this is
different
the
story.
But Will, it's the cameras. Put the fucking phone away. If you want to.
Well, yeah, no, it was stupid that he filmed this shit.
Like
I'll
if
give
you want to,
that,
if
yeah.
you want to give the kids $20 total, sure. And then they'll have a cool story to take to the block. Not really cool, because it's like, yo, Meek Mill cheap as fuck. He pulled up in a McLaren and gave six of us $20.
And that's an experience in itself.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
it is.
that's a story to tell. But it's the action of Meek being like, yeah, I'm giving back. You know what I mean? Like, you pulled up in a fucking $5 million car or whatever.
But Meek give back to his community.
But
This is one fucking instance. Meek
Black-
give back to
but Black Dynamite.
But Black Dynamite. I
I sell drugs
in
to the community. It's but again, it's the cameras. It's the public thing. It's Meek Mill filming himself giving $20 to 6 kids to split. It's Cardi asking the TL, right? If it's in the music, no one cares. That's what rap is. You know, if it's in the music, no one cares. That's the landscape. But you go on the internet, you fucking ask starving people if you should buy. You know what I mean? You film yourself giving ththese hustlers, these kids. You know what I mean? They out here, they grinding.
First of all,
You're not doing them no favors.
Little homies out there, more hustler than these dudes trying to flip these PS5s. I just want to put that out there.
Let's not do it. Let's not do it.
I just want to say that real quick.
Oh, no.
do not start with that because Rainy up here is gonna go on this whole rant.
Word.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
Rainy head just gonna explode, bro.
Mira, ya cállate, coño.
Yeah.
Ya,
Splatoon.
cállate.
Splatoon.
Coño.
Final topic: Splatoon.
Lou,
Splatoon versus Nintendo versus Melee versus everyone. Lou, take
This
it
is-
away.
It is basically Nintendo versus the world. Let's just consolidate that shit. It's
Can I
Nintendo versus the world.
Yes.
Can I start
I
off with the
agree.
preface to prior, because we talked about this in the last show, and then you lead off with the entirety of the Splatoon, and then we segue. We talked about this, like
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, but
All right.
yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
all right. So we talked about this thing last week or the week before. Nintendo decided to they went there's this group of people that started a tournament for Melee, right? Melee using Slippy GG to play with a very fucking peerless rollback netcode against each other online, right? Nintendo saw it as an opportunity to be like, hey, you guys are illegally modding our fucking games. Now, inherently, emulation is not illegal, and technically, neither are ROMs, just as so long as you have you own a copy of that game. This is a 20-year-old fucking game, by the way. Nintendo was like, hey, you need to cut off this fucking you need to cut this shit off. We don't want a tournament for this fucking game. You guys are illegally modding this shit. They decided, the people running the tournament, we're still going to continue with this tournament. Then Nintendo responds, hey, if you don't stop this fucking tournament, we're sending a cease and desist. So because of that, the cease and desist, obviously when most larger companies sends a cease and desist, you're opted, like nobody got the fucking money to deal with a multi-million-dollar corporation off some shit like this. So they stopped their shit, right? And so Nintendo is just a bunch of fucking scumbags. And then Lou, take it away.
Now, before I start with my own piece of this whole discussion, I am going to quote the former president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, may he rest in peace. Because this is, because this is
Iwata, my brody.
Stop, I can't. But anywho, this is what he said. It would not be appropriate if we treated people who did something based on affection for Nintendo as criminals. Because that's basically what current Nintendo does now. They take projects, they see projects of people working IP, and I get it. It's copyright, there's that whole shebang about copyright. But if people are doing things not for profit and doing these fun projects out of love for the game and also because out of a necessity, because let's face it, Smash netcode is garbage.
Hands fucking down. You want people to play your current game? Fix your current fucking game.
Yeah.
Especially in this current environment where people can't interact locally. People can't interact offline. So netcode is all we have. And if your netcode is garbage, nobody's gonna want to play that game. But enough about that. Let's get into the Splatoon stuff. So, Splatoon competitive community. There was the North American Open this weekend for top 8 teams for Splatoon 2. 30% of those team names had team names supporting the Melee community. Save Smash, Free Melee, etc., etc. Nintendo took notice of this. What did they do? They canceled the stream that was supposed to happen yesterday for top 8 or top 4 or what have you. So what did the Splatoon community do in response? All top 8 teams dropped out. They dropped out of the North American Open. They went on and did a community run bracket, and the community managed to donate a total of almost $30,000 for that prize pool. They literally, like, when have we ever seen that in like the history of esports, where where the entire top 8 of a officially sponsored bracket, they just like, you know what, y'all are treating us like shit, so fuck you, we're going over here.
Yeah.
Which brings me into why. You want to know why that never happens in any other esports league? Because the people that run those fucking esports leagues and the people that run the games for those esports leagues aren't dickheads.
Yeah.
Mainly it's because they aren't dickheads. I have never seen such fucking PR suicide in my goddamn life.
Oh yeah.
Capcom doesn't do that. We can have a fucking large ass tournament of fucking Third Strike tomorrow on fucking Fightcade, Capcom won't say a goddamn thing. You want to know why? Because they not dickheads.
No.
They
So I see your third strike and raise you Max's Twitch rival stream for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Not only that, now here's the thing. Now this is that now Capcom could have been dickheads about this because they weren't using they weren't using the in-game netcode. They were using Parsec. They were using cloud servers to play online. Capcom still greenlit everything. That production was a phenomenal success.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happens when you're not a shitbag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, no other fucking company. I mean, every other company in the fucking world, every video game company in the fucking world understands how much of a PR nightmare it would be to constrict something like that, to suffocate something that is beloved, that is building your fucking community. The only reason you are making money are off of these fucking people who love your game so goddamn much that they want to build this type of fucking tournament. Let alone fucking Melee being a 20-year-old fucking game and there's no other way to play it online against other fucking people in the midst of a fucking pandemic. This is how Nintendo reacts to it.
On top of that, Nintendo isn't even profiting off this game anymore. They stopped production of these CDs fucking years ago. Most of the places where you can get like a physical copy of Melee on disc, like is secondhand.
Mom
Like
and
at a
pop
decent
stores.
price. Yeah, mom and pop stores. Freaking if you and if you're the collector type and you're trying to get it new, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg because best believe most of those copies of Melee are fucking open.
Wait, you want to know why Rainy's smiling right now?
Why? Don't tell me he has a fucking sealed copy of Melee. You would have a sealed copy of Melee, pendejo?
Yeah. It's
Look at this fucking scumbag.
Nah, so I mean I do it's tucked away. It's very safe. But sentimental value and all that. I own, because of the venue and everything. I own multiple copies of Melee, and in my quest I stumbled upon a sealed one. So I bounced on it.
That's nothing wrong with that. That was just that whole thing was just hilarious.
Yeah.
But this isn't Nintendo's first foray into like cease and desists at all. I'll give you a perfect example from several years ago. You remember when the Metroid 2 remake came out for 3DS, Samus Returns?
Mm-hmm.
Shortly before that, they see indeed a Metroid fan project called Another Metroid 2 Remake that had been in development for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when it was close to being done, they put out a tech demo or they put out the game. Naturally, people like Kotaku just basically shone this giant glaring spotlight on it, which is how, Nintendo eventually found out. And they ceased and desist. And then people were just like, but why'd you cease and desist this? Because, they weren't really doing much with the Metroid IP anyway. Like Metroid has been one of their least attended franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's it? Metroid's 30th anniversary? They ain't do shit for it.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the Mario and the Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But real quick, before we sorry Lou, I want you to finish your point, but I want to move to Mel, who hasn't really said anything as far as this topic, and because we're she's also,
we just so angry.
No, she's also a resident.
It's okay.
She's also a resident Smash player, so that's I was curious to see how Mel felt about it, and if you play Melee, like if you even, you know what I mean, like, because I know you from Ultimate, so we never really talked about Melee, I don't think.
No. I played it a few times, but I definitely like jumped more into like the Ultimate pool. But I played it a few times, but I do appreciate it, and I appreciate Melee players as well. So I just think Nintendo's really problematic, and their prices mad high, and I'm broke. So like
their price is mad high. Same,
yeah,
bro.
I'm like I just get so annoyed. Like I look at the price and I'm like, why am I so broke? But like but it's like, and then the games that you want, like they're not on sale. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. But like it sucks like what's going on, that whole thing with Melee, like free Melee. Like I retweeted that because I was like, that's garbage. Like it's people should be able to get together, do tournaments, and it shouldn't be a problem because, as you guys have mentioned before, like with Capcom, if it wasn't an issue with, Capcom wouldn't have a problem or whatever, but Nintendo does. But it's also like, um, I guess maybe they're concerned like if one group does something, then it's gonna ignite a whole bigger fire, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
maybe they don't want to touch base on like illegal activities or something. I have no idea.
Yeah,
But
which is a point Luigi
so
6 made.
yeah.
That like you
Which
got to
is
think of it
valid.
as a big company. As a big company, it's petty as fuck. But if they let one party run emulated games, it opens a whole bunch of legal issues with other IPs to run more tournaments. But yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
but
that could be
but
it too.
but to that point, I counter. Then just do what the Accent Core Plus R team with the rollback open beta.
Mhm.
What Garo and the SNK team did with fucking Garo.
With Code Mystics, with 97. Now I think 2002 Unlimited matches. I think getting the Code Mystics treatment at some point if they haven't already.
They
But
did.
but the thing is like the thing is a lot of these bigger companies they see like these fan projects and instead of doing what Capcom did with Street Fighter Cross Mega Man where they basically co-opted the shit, officially supported it, they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, stop this." Instead of reaching out and being like, "Hey, let's make this work." Like this is an opportunity. This is like they're squandering opportunities. That's what I
An-
don't like. That's what I don't like.
another prime example, Sonic Mania.
Yeah, it's made by
Sonic
fans.
made completely by fucking fans of Sonic. What did Sega do? Yo, that shit was dope, dog. I'ma give it a yes. The Randy Jackson fucking treatment, right?
And that makes up and that kind of sort of makes up for what they did in 2011
Mhm.
because they see indeed Streets of Rage remake and that always left a bad taste in my mouth
Mhm.
because it was done by a team in Spain. They had
Mm,
worked that's a project that started off as like just a simple Streets of Rage PvP project, but
yeah,
then it started gaining traction and then they started developing a full-blown game. That game runs on its own engine. That's not like an existing engine. The person who made Streets of Rage remake, the person who programmed it, built the engine from the ground up
yeah,
for that game.
yeah.
And they went to Sega of Europe and they're like, "Hey, we're doing this thing, you know, basically can you not see in DS something to that effect." And then
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sega of Europe is just like, "Well, we're not really using the IP anyway, so we kind of don't care." Like they didn't give tacit approval, but they didn't say stop.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
the game came out. The forum that the game was hosted on crashed because it had reached the bandwidth limit from everyone accessing the site and downloading the game.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, the game was scrubbed from the forums because they got C and D'd by Sega.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, Sega, at the same in the same direction, has suffered since 2011 very drastically in terms of sales of their own fucking games.
2011 was transitional for them, so in retrospect, I get why they did it
Yeah,
because that's also why we didn't get Fantasy Star Online 2 in the West until earlier this
until
year.
which is fucking. Are you getting the next one, by the way? Because I'm
Oh, New
fucking trying to
Genesis,
get the
yes.
next one.
But we'll
All
we'll
right,
talk
bet.
about
We'll
that
talk
after
about that.
podcast. We'll talk about that after podcast.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but yeah. So my entire thing is Nintendo. The reason they're doing this is one, they just want to fucking show them their strong arm. Two, they want people to buy fucking Ultimate, but Ultimate doesn't fucking work online. Doesn't fucking work online.
Sorry
Yeah.
God.
Can I? So, hold on, real quick. Can I ask? Can I pose a question to the three of you? Um, do you feel like Nintendo is playing the broke, like the not broke? That's like insensitive, but like, all right. So we all come from like struggle, right? So you
So
know
you can
how
say
like
broke.
your parents do that thing, or whoever you grew up with. Maybe your parents weren't around or whatever, but maybe some kind of older figure in your life, right? Because not everybody grows up with their own parents or whatever, but somebody in your chosen family at some point, right? Whatever, in your youth, uh, was all year they were like, nah, can't get that. Sorry, we gotta wait. Sorry, that's no, like no, 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 no. And then come Christmas time or come your birthday, they drop the bomb on you, and it's like, yo, you thought I forgot about you? You know what I mean? Like you thought I didn't listen when you said you wanted that thing, but
Yeah.
here it is. I just needed time. Like we just needed to get it together. Do you feel like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that this is what they're doing. But do you feel like fucking Lou? Do you feel like Nintendo is pulling the stingy mean parent card and shutting down all this shit because the 20-year anniversary of Melee is coming out and they're gonna repackage it and drop it on the Switch?
Fuck no, baby.
Fuck no.
Oh my god.
I don't know. A part of me
The fuck you take me
wants
for?
to feel that way. Like because
All right.
from a company standpoint, right? Why else would you attack Slippy? Why else would you attack all these free ways that people can play the game unless, right? It was
No,
for a tangible monetary reason that like
Because
you plan to like repackage it and re-release it or something.
because they are
Yes.
pieces of shit
Oh my god.
that have done this in the past. They do not like.
don't
This
give a
is
fuck about
not
Halo.
the
They want
first
to die.
fucking offense. This
Uh-huh.
They
is not
want
the
Melee to
first.
die. Evo 2013.
Yeah. Okay.
They
Okay.
want nothing to do with Melee because they are not making any money off of fucking Melee. If they were, by chance, fucking minimal chance, right? A modicum of a fucking chance, right? To drop a Melee remake or a Melee port over to the fucking Switch that's not going to have online, I guarantee you that. They're gonna price it at fucking $45 goddamn dollars, Rainy, and you fucking
Nah,
know this.
60.
No,
Nah,
they're
they're
gonna price it
gonna
at
hit us
60.
with
They're gonna price it
60.
at 60. They're gonna
Yeah,
hit
they're
60.
gonna
Alright,
hit us with
alright.
60. But also, I feel like it would have online. I feel like
No,
it would.
it's not gonna have online. It's going to be a port. It's going to be a direct port. It's going to be a GameCube port to the fucking Switch, the same way that fucking Super Mario 64. I'm not talking about the All Stars fucking 3D All Stars shit. Super Mario 64 for Nintendo 64 is on that fucking Switch right now, and I can fucking play it. And it's just a fucking regular ass port of the Nintendo 64 game. It's gonna be a regular ass fucking port of the fucking GameCube game, bro.
Jesus,
On top-
Jesus,
on top-
Will, take it easy.
On top
No.
of that, no, I know, and I feel the same way Will does because of the simple fact that Nintendo has done a bunch of dickheaded moves. Let's talk about this year. Now that he mentioned the 3D All Stars bullshit, that's gonna be a physical production release until
Only to March.
only until March. After that, that shit is getting vaulted.
Let's
Mario 30
wait. Hey, tell them about Fire Emblem 30th anniversary.
Fire Emblem 30th anniversary limited sale. After a couple of months, it's done.
Hey, tell them about the Game & Watch Super Mario 1 and 2.
Oh no.
The game and Watch tomorrow, bro. That's again
Oh my
after March,
God.
it is done. I work at a game shop in the village, bro. We are stocking on that shit. We're holding on to that shit until they stop selling.
Hey, yo, homie, hold me down to the 30th anniversary.
Nah, bro, we still got plenty of those.
Wait, hold on. Cause is it Nat? Is it Nat Cat or?
Yeah, might be
okay.
Nat Cat.
All right, so Nat Cat made a point that, I mean, to be fair, that is what happened with that Metroid 2 fan remake. They killed it, and then a year or two later, they put the remake on 3DS. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that there's a similar situation going on. And it's like
Yeah,
they keep shutting it down. They keep shutting it down because they're making no money off it. But maybe they're doing so in an effort to then make money off of it.
But the thing is, they released the remake on the 3DS, and it hadn't been spoken of since. No one's talking about that game. I have never heard anyone talk about that game.
On top of that, it's not like, for example, with Sonic Mania, where the creators were fucking paid for their ideas. It's a complete fucking, we shutting you down. Oh shit. People really thought this got some traction. Maybe we should fucking work on this.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the reason that I don't believe that they're gonna do anything within the realm of Melee, because Ultimate is still making them money.
Exactly.
They're
But
still
Nintendo's just money hungry. That's all. I got.
exactly.
I'm tired of them.
For them, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
see, and what's wild to me though, right, is that all of us fucking know this already, that it doesn't matter how old that game is, and that people are still fucking playing that game, and there's still a fucking scene for that game. There's still a scene for Third Strike, and people are still fucking paying money out the ass, like my stupid ass, for fucking Street Fighter 5 and all of its fucking DLC.
But there's
If
a
they
but there's a to that effect. There's a scene for Tatsunoko. But like, what is
yes,
that? But like, what is that? So
was
what
there
is the,
not a versus after Tatsunoko and after that one?
no, yeah, but what I'm saying is like what does that say? Like, how do you want Nintendo to speak to that? Like, do you want they just they just kind of want to move on from it's like okay, it's like Raekwon, right? Raekwon, one of my favorite rappers of all time, like second only to Doom, right? Raekwon, one of my favorite rappers
That's
ever.
crazy.
He part
We
of he,
listen to only Built for Cuban Links when I go to your house next week.
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Yo, Raekwon is one of the most consistent rappers ever. This motherfucker drops at least every 2 years, not
Mhm.
including mixtapes. But what? So wouldn't you don't think Ray? You don't think Ray fucking like? I know in interviews he postures like he's not. You don't think he fucking tired of talking about of talking about only built for Cuban links?
But who isn't? Remember when Method Man didn't do fucking Method Man for how many fucking decades?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's
Oh my god. There's white women entering my home.
oh
But
shit. Call the
but,
police.
but
um, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like them red lighting shit and like
All right.
canceling shit is super corny, but I feel like they're allowed to want to move on from the
So
game. Like
so
like
from
just let it flourish. Let it
all right,
flourish. Don't be
but
dickheads.
this is what I want to fucking pose to you though. I that from an artist perspective, I do understand. Obviously, Radiohead, same fucking way, right?
Yeah.
In Rainbows came out, niggas. Well, not in Rainbows. I want to say when King of the Limbs came out, people were still fucking referencing fucking OK Computer, and
Mhm.
we're like, oh, it wasn't as good as OK Computer, it wasn't as good as in Rainbows. But at the end of the day, you want to know the difference between them and Nintendo with Melee
Mhm.
is that they're still making money off those fucking albums.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, whereas they don't want to perform anything as Raekwon doesn't want to perform anything from fucking only built for Cuban links anymore, and he doesn't have to. He's still making money off that fucking album, bro.
Mhm.
Still
These people,
royalties.
Yeah. Yeah.
these people want to just play Smash Melee, which they can't together anymore. Obviously, pandemic reasons, but in general, it like something that never had netcode, and we're in the age of fucking it, connectivity, and we're like we're in the fucking the gut of that shit at the moment, and they just want to play Melee with each other,
Mhm.
and it's of no fucking cost of consequence to Nintendo
Yeah.
in any spectrum, because that's not losing out any money.
Yeah.
Like they're not losing any money on this whatsoever ever.
Yeah. So
You
we're
know how many people? Sorry, you know how many people are fucking that are Melee fucking specialists?
yeah.
How many copies of fucking Melee they've probably fucking owned in their lifetime?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're over the 2 hour mark.
Oh yeah,
So
but
I just kind of
Oh
want to
damn, I
give
had a
any closing.
question.
Nah, go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead. That could be
Oh, okay.
the ending point that everybody kind of touches on before we go. But yeah, go ahead, Mel.
Okay, so with everything that's been said in terms of like Nintendo and what they've been doing with Free Melee, what do you pose as a solution? We heard about like Splatoon and that tournament.
Mhm.
So, but what do you think should be a solution moving forward? Because
Repackage it with
it seems
rollback.
like Nintendo is very
Yeah, either repackage it with fucking rollback or lay the fuck
Mhm.
off. Those are the only two options I can see viable here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Lou?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Repackage with rollback. Rollback is the name of the game here. Like
Mhm.
like look at what happened with Guilty Gear. Look what happened with Guilty Gear. Nobody
Yo.
was really touching plus R because that netcode is booty.
Mhm.
But that
Yeah.
but then they did the rollback open beta. People fucking swarmed to that shit. There was there was I think a 300 plus person bracket for plus R at one point during the initial beta period, because the beta period was originally supposed to end at the beginning of November. And then that last day came and they were like, psych, you thought indefinite beta. And that's how me, Will, and Leo get to play now.
Yep. And he busts my ass. Pardon me, they bust my ass. I gotta stop.
He is also fine. I go by he or they. So
Okay, bet.
You were not entirely wrong, but I do appreciate your consideration.
I'm still an asshole for assuming. So, but nonetheless, he still whips my fucking ass on a daily basis in that game. But it's like this would never fucking happen
Mhm.
if they didn't decide to repackage it with fucking
Rollback.
rollback,
Yeah.
right? And that's really it. Those are the only two solutions that can fucking happen. Because the thing is, what they have to realize is them supporting these niche communities for their game that came out 20 years ago means more bank for them in the fucking future.
And also, I mean, I don't know about I don't know about Nintendo, but I feel like the general consensus is to stay in your consumers' good graces. Like, like the people that are buying your shit. It makes sense to to keep them
Facts.
happy,
Facts.
But the thing about it is their IPs are so powerful that they don't have to. Like
It's because nobody regulates them.
Nobody else has Yoshi. Nobody else has Mario. Nobody will ever have those things. So if I was as powerful as Nintendo, would I be as evil? Fuck no. But that's a power trip. Like bruh. The Wii U was a mistake, and it was a step in the right direction in terms of the Switch, right? But even during the Wii U era, Nintendo was in a lane all their own. Like it's because it's always Sony versus Microsoft, because both of them know they are not fucking touching Nintendo. Nintendo has been around since 1890.
Nintendo has not sold for a loss in over 2 fucking decades.
Yeah. So if I was Nintendo, me personally, if you cared, right? But again, they're not in a position to give a shit because they have such powerful IPs. And the thing is, like, here's the thing, like Xbox is like, oh fuck, like, and then Sony was like, you know what? We're gonna sink all our bread into the most amazing first-party IPs anyone's ever played, and they have to play them here, right? Who started that shit? Nintendo. You know what I mean? And then Microsoft went the opposite way and was like, okay, fuck, we don't really have the first party stuff to boot, but we're gonna make our console more we're gonna try and make our console more powerful, and we're gonna make it an all-purpose multimedia box where video games are a service, video games as a service, as a subscription. Where's Nintendo in that conversation? Yeah, we make good game. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing is, and motherfuckers are still buying it. See, I think it's our duty as the consumer, right? Which is an impossible task, by the way, because I have no way condoning this, because I know my stupid ass is still gonna buy that 30th anniversary for fucking Fire Emblem, and I got my fucking Game & Watch sitting on my shelf over there, right? And I still have my sealed copy of 3D All Stars somewhere laying in my room, right? But it's our duty as a consumer to regulate this shit. Because if we don't buy it, then motherfuckers gonna wonder what the fuck is wrong.
Yeah.
And then we pull up those articles, and it was like, shit, maybe we did fuck up.
Yeah.
Sega seen it. Sega seen it first fucking hand. You know? Capcom is currently going through it.
Yeah.
But
it's also like I mean, obviously no one should be exploited for this, but people are like Nintendo. People are doing you favors with Slippy, and like people are giving you free labor. Like you don't even have to give a shit. People are making the game better for you. You know what I think? I think that Nintendo as a company just doesn't want to look bad. They don't want to take the L. They don't want some nobody 14-year-old who just heard of Melee and fell in love with it to show them up by making their 20-year-old game play better than their current fucking game. That's what I think. I think it's a pissing contest. I think it's fucking, you know what I mean? For lack of a better word, I think it's like, no, you're not going to do our job better than us. Shut this whole shit down. Like
I think it's just personally that they just want people to buy a game that they're already fucking buying.
Yeah.
Lou was going to say something.
I think I have two different points to make. One being the whole, free labor thing. And I will reference again, Street Fighter Cross Mega Man. That was one person, one person who did the game, another person who did the music. Nintendo could have seeded indeed that whole shit because it's Mega Man. What did they do? They officially supported that game and did promotions for that game. And the game was free, but it doesn't change the fact that they went and saw an opportunity to connect with the community and, back a fan project as opposed to just no. And then going to Nintendo and, like Rainey said, not being in a position to care, bro, Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah, it was a
You
launch
got
title for the
Switch-
Switch after being on the Wii U. Like,
No. But the Wii U part is beside the point.
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild, launch title. How long ago did the Switch come out? What, like 3 years?
4.
Breath of
4
the
years?
Wild. No, Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, look up the release date for Breath of the Wild on Switch.
Okay. Breath of the Wild release date. Breath of the Wild initial release date was March 3rd, 2017. On March 3rd, 2017.
March
Oh wait,
3rd,
you said no. You said
2017.
on Switch, right?
On Switch, yes.
Okay. Breath of the Wild release date. Yeah, March 3rd.
Oh yeah, I think they released. It was a simultaneous console release. But yeah,
Mhm.
so my point being, Breath of the Wild launch title, almost a 4-year-old game,
Mhm.
still $60.
Oh, don't take me there. Don't even take me there.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, I mean, this
Don't
motherfucker done bought Skyrim at full price for 13 years. So anyway.
Yo, come back, Rainy.
Wait, he's gonna go play it on his fridge real quick.
Right next to the copy of Doom on a pregnancy test.
Oh my god.
Nah, he recoded it to play Skyrim.
No, but no, what's it? Nah, he's gonna play Skyrim on a smart toaster. No, but on some serious shit though, there have been games that have been out for years, Nintendo exclusive stuff, and the prices.
Yeah, no, their prices are mad high for no goddamn reason.
Their prices have stayed the same. The only thing that hasn't stayed the same are games that aren't directly done by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So anything that's a non-Nintendo IP, those are games that experience price fluctuations, shit that occasionally goes on sale. But if it's a first-party Nintendo game, nah, that game could be out for 5 years. That game will probably stop produce,
Yeah, God.
and that game will still be $60 the entire lifespan of that game.
That and Bandai Namco games, but
Oh no, Namco's got prices for some of their shit.
no, Bandai Namco. Oh, my
yeah.
lord.
Wow. Look at it.
Oh
Look
my
at my face. Look at my face. I own this game 6 times. I own this game 6 times. 4
That's not
times
Skyrim.
physically, 4 times physically, and twice digitally. I own it digitally on PS3 when it dropped, and I own it digitally the HD project, not project, the official like re-release by Capcom for PC on Steam.
This is only one up on Skyrim because there was one it was one generation above.
Yeah, and I only paid full price for this game 1 time,
He's lying.
and it was this time. It was
Hashtag
this time.
he lying, Your Honor.
Nah, this was the
Hashtag
last
he
time.
lying.
This was the last time I ever paid full price for this. The first and only.
The
But that's
last
my
time.
But that's my point.
Fuck you lying.
Nah, but that's my point. Like I got this on sale.
Yeah,
I got this on
that's
sale.
a fact.
I got
So,
this on sale.
Capcom in particular won't do that shit to you though. You feel me?
But yeah, that's the point. That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capcom in particular, like Nintendo. What was it? Fucking Donkey Kong Country Return Island Breeze. You know how long that shit was $49.99? My
Good.
entire duration of working for fucking GameStop. All right, all 6
$49.99.
fucking years.
Let me
It's still $49.99. What do you
let me
mean?
tell you something. Let me tell you
It's
something.
still $49.99. You're
Hey.
serious?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Mel, it is. Yeah,
Oh
but
my
fucking
God. Oh my-
yeah.
Yo,
And
you know
who
what's
do
in-
I-
what's in
for
even
real,
more-
Who do I have to fight.
Peace,
but
Luigi.
no.
Yo, you know what's an even more heinous example is, oh my god, you know I bring this up every goddamn time, but hold on real quick. I just want to make sure this is. I want to make sure this is the right one. Okay, it is. An even
Love
more
you, mama.
heinous example is fucking Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening on Switch. There is
Oh,
no
God.
and I bring it up every fucking time. That's why I left the first time, because I thought we were done with this, but evidently we are not. Okay, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening being $60 fucking on the Switch is criminal. It is criminal behavior. It is criminal behavior, and I'm pressing charges. You did nothing. If you understood what went into that game, which is nothing, it's a graphical overhaul and nothing else. The perspective is still the same. You can tilt the camera a little bit, some Animal Crossing shit, big whoop. But it's the same game. It's the same game, just pretty. It's
Right.
30 plus year old tech, just pretty, for $60.
That's
For
pretty.
$60.
Oh no, it gets better. It gets better. The game itself is $60.
Mm-hmm.
North America did not get the steelbook cover. Europe got the steelbook cover. You want to know how much the steelbook cover is by itself?
With no
35.
game?
With no game, just the steelbook. 35.
Oh my god.
Oh, brother.
You know what I could do with $35?
Yeah, like,
Bro.
you know how many chopped cheeses that is?
That's a 7-day unlimited Metro card for us with $2 left over.
For
Seriously,
real?
yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
That's a 7-day unlimited with a butter roll and an Arizona.
Word.
You're
That's
making me hungry. Oh my god, stop.
Yeah. No. But speaking of which, I guess this is probably as good a time as any, to kind of play us out. Does anybody have any final thoughts or anything like that? Lou, Mel.
You guys really put me on to a lot. Like I really do appreciate. I'm not really like I guess as well versed in Nintendo and like Microsoft and stuff. So this conversation honestly really put everything into perspective for me. So I really do appreciate it for real. And the
Oh.
chat too. The chat's been amazing. So
Cool. Thank you. We're
Oh.
trying. We're trying
Yeah.
out here.
It's just like it's been a blast like talking with the three of you. It's just like I love you, I love you, I love you, and yeah,
Oh,
and yes,
thank
I
you
have
so
been,
much.
too.
yes, I have been playing with the layup because I am a chaotic gremlin. I do what the fuck I want.
Yes.
I love that shit. That's fucking fantastic. Will, what you got to say? Will
Alright,
ran
real-
off.
Yeah, I had to piss real fucking bad. Snoop Dogg got a wine.
Oh my god.
Wait, what? Okay.
It's
Uh-huh.
collaboration with 19 Crimes. If you like your red wine but a little bit sweet, I recommend it.
Can we talk? We'll talk about this next time. But Snoop Dogg didn't sell out. He sold himself the entire
Exactly.
time, and it's the most amazing marketing shit I've ever
He
seen.
sold a gangsta ass nigga
Yeah, he
to the
sold.
market.
He made Crippin mainstream. Like what the fuck?
Exactly, which
Like,
is
it's
crazy because this is
amazing.
a fucking red wine, and I'm kind of conflicted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
that
wild.
and also fuck Nintendo.
Oh my god. Jesus,
but
dude.
also I love you, Nintendo. But what the fuck is you doing, baby?
It's just like, oh no, baby, what is you doing?
Well,
There goes any fucking potentials. There goes any fucking potential.
It's alright. We'll
I guess.
delete this from a VOD. We'll delete this from the
Oh my
VODs.
God.
All right.
Fucking guy. Fucking guy.
But also I'm gonna be playing some Guilty Gear in a little bit. So if everyone wants to join, this isn't a stream update or anything like that. I'm just trying to play some Guilty Gear.
Cool. All right. So real quick, I guess that's as good a note as any to play us out on. I'm actually going to invite the chat for anyone who doesn't have our Discord. There you go. You can join our Discord. Based on the conversation you heard here, you know what type of time we on. You know what kind of conversations we have. It is a generally wholesome server with generally wholesome people. And me personally, I'm not finna tolerate no type of fucking well actuallys or whataboutisms about nobody's identity, about no type of shit like that, because that's not the kind of moves we making, right?
And
It's a matter of like when it's a matter of life and death, when it's a matter of like of being yourself, that's that's a non-negotiable on the Discord. And if you got fucking, if you got your whataboutisms about, and you're all into respectability politics and identity politics, and you want to argue the fucking, but what about this, or well actually this, like, this not the server for you. We accept everybody, period. So join at your own discretion. And if you have a problematic thought and you drop that shit in the Discord, guess what? It's not our responsibility to protect you for having those takes, and you should take that with a grain of salt. You should take what you say at face value, and you should be willing to learn from what you say. So
Also,
there's that
real
on the
quick,
Discord.
also, you can ask anybody in that chat. I run a tight fucking shit.
That's true. Will does run a tight shit.
Will don't take no shit. Will will shoot you. Will will fucking
We're
shoot you.
for
Do
real.
not try him.
But yeah,
I run a tight shift. So I mean, in the words of my mother, wash your fucking mouth.
yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. So that's real quick. That's just the energy in our Discord. Everybody's cool. Everybody's calm. We're all chilling. We all accept everybody, right? So there's that. There's the Discord. There's the merch. There's the merch that I dropped the link to before. The merch is very cute. I am expected to get the merch. I ordered. So what I did was I ordered an entire, I ordered the whole catalog. Like, I paid for the entire catalog of merch in my size. And it's supposed to get here by Wednesday. So if it gets here in time, I'll do a little stream where I like fucking model it or whatever, and like kind of give you guys a quality rundown of like how it feels, how it looks. And I'm very blunt about it. I'm not gonna try and I'm not gonna big it up in an effort to get you guys to buy it. If I'm not feeling that shit, I would not feel good charging you guys for it. Like, we'll find some other way to do it. But if you know what I mean. So there's that. So yeah, there's the merch link. There's the Discord link. Oh, another thing. Even if you don't. Oh, thank you, Dennis. We appreciate the 100 bits. If you don't buy any merch, there's still a donation link there. We do, while we're in the middle of a pandemic, we do still have to pay for HQ, Hearst Boys HQ in the Bronx. We do still pay for that monthly. So if you drop anything at all, fucking $2, $5, literally anything at all helps. If you ain't got it like that right now to buy merch, that's perfectly understandable. Really, it is what it is. Like, just try to help us stay afloat or whatever. We do this for y'all. Mostly I do this so I can feel something, but that's besides the point. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been another episode of the Social Distancing Podcast with the Hearst Boys. I'm your host, Rainey, with my co-host, Will, joined by Mel at Boricua Life __ on Twitter, and Lou at KPB Retro Station on Twitter. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.